Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. All right, capturing what is directed light and still images as well. And the state's directed light appears more clearly in the still images that I capture seconds later. The state's directed light changing colors, vacillating in hues. It's the same exact engineered light, and it's impossible light activity. Sunlight is not aiming flat into the depths of venues where this is actually the sun. These are the ways in which you're paying attention to what the state is doing with the light source and stalking with light. 8LJG068, 8JPX229, 4ZJG145, 6BCJ, and hold on, 8RDX345, and this is 4BCJ484, 5UNB225, 8C90551, 6PDM496, BFAZ226, hold on. Let's see. BFAZ269, 92527C2, 8PSC741, 6EBL205, 8RIV101, 8LHC768, 8ESA921, 8PXS761, 7NMM154, 6U95383, 5L95198. And again, this is the same exact McDonald's, which is just representing a venue where state surveillance is underway. There's no exception to the P.O.C. That's what I'm documenting. This is the same exact McDonald's that I documented, for example, however, and the state's light source is clearly seen as opposed to what is the state's fake sun, which is present today. As I captured in video, the state is subduing it. Engineered light remains, and the light source remains central, presence over my head in the city of Ontario. And the ongoing presence of that light source central over me is speaking to what is targeting that is underway. The minions that you see standing in the parking lot with their communication devices in hand, these two white men, they're standing in front of what is a white SUV with the license 8ME6609, which is Washington. They're monitoring, and they're doing so under the fake sun that's right above my head in the parking lot, doing so while the state is vacillating in colors with what is directed light, not sunlight. And you're talking about what is light activity while also engaging in what is a method of concealing, trying to conceal what I'm documenting and publishing on the internet about the states of California stalking with a light source that is not the sun. All right, and it is exclusive to the state of California, and it is speaking to what the rest of the country is doing, because you're talking about what is stalking with a light source, revealing an environment that surrounds you, surveillance that you are subject to, unbeknownst to you. 8WDZ798, 8WAT170, 7RGE065. And let me be clear, all of the employees inside of McDonald's are monitoring and surveilling. All of the minions I captured in images, they're standing beside what is directed light. They're standing in line, engaging in stalking on behalf of the state. This is the state that's maintaining presence on behalf of an entity, while directed light is on the ground, which you can see more clearly as I capture that in still images. This is group stalking. All right, and this is demonic activity as well. 8TCG892, cross his path by exiting the venue, and that's all that they are doing, entering and exiting. Ordering something inside of a venue, such as a fast food restaurant, is nothing but form for stalking in the path. All right, and like I said, Tracy Banks, license 4WON432, is engaging in that pattern of conduct. And by the way, fully aware of what I published as of late. I mean, you're talking about what is, I mean, literally a bunch of ignoramuses. The documentation is already published, so when I point out something more vividly for you, for example, a specific address such as 630 North Fern and all the times in which she's leaving from that venue, and I'm in the car and the state's fake son remains. So since I published that specific point of reference just days ago, you're talking about what is the state covering up its fake son as of late at 630 North Fern. The documentation was already published. All right, the point that I made is already established. You're talking about what is making ongoing vivid illustrations for those who are reviewing my documentation. And it does not matter whether I made that specific point vividly for you to understand what I'm doing with regard to documenting you. 8AKH990. This is a pathetic entity that is flying over the car wash, the 100% hand car wash on Mountain Avenue right now. That's what you hear in the background. Doing so while 5UJX462 is crossing the path. And while Tracy Banks is inside of the McDonald's monitoring with the rest of the minions who are in the drive-thru, who are working at McDonald's, who are at the car wash, who are at the S Express gas station at Mountain and 5th, all right? They're monitoring all together, and they're doing so while they're listening to me. And so I want to be clear, this is the state's light source that remains over my head. It is subdued. The ongoing directed light remains. And not only that, I've already documented this venue. Not that I have to, this is a means of understanding what is ongoing presence. This is in conformity to a pattern of conduct. It's not all of a sudden stopping. All right, you're talking about what is a government. You're talking about what is demon-possessed psychopaths who are engaging in acts of obstruction. They're not obstructing anything. You're speaking to what is the necessity of how you restrain such animals. This is malice. This is criminal conduct that is life-threatening by government. And you're talking about what the demon-possessed, all right, who are already surrounded by evidence. You're talking about subduing your fake son while you're stalking in the path and looking like you're engaged in a conversation. That's the psychopath. They're in directed light. They're under a fake sun, and they're doing nothing but stalking while knowing that I'm documenting them. And they're entirely focused on me. And the entirety of that environment is what is revealing that, including those who are working at the restaurant. And that's what you see with license plate BME 6609. Those two white males who are stalking in the path, communication devices in hand, fake sun directly above, directed light inside of the venue and outside. All right, this is P.O.C. And this is the McDonald's, which is located at, let's see what the address is. This is the same one where I'm showing you they're driving out of the drive-thru and directed light is appearing on the ground, which is the P.O.C. So that is what is demon possession, the market demon possession, third-party stalking with light. 832 Mountain Avenue in Ontario, California. 6NQP319, 8V52902, 5YFJ023, 8TLP860, 7UBY047, DEC1980. It's 11:14 a.m. PCP 211, 8 SCM 782, 7 RXT 834, 8 NFX 746, 8 ZDT 921, 6 GJG 026, 8 CDS 558, 8 EHK 824, 5 UNB 225, 8 VVM 695, 6 HDJ 902, 5 MJM 134, 8 UNA 937, 6 FGU 647, 6 ZHD 828, 8 JFL 125, 8 XPB 823, 7 GXT 145, 7 RUE 567, 7 PCT 432, 26793N2, 7 ZQR 765, 4L OX 716, 40Z1, oh, I can't wait to scratch that, 7 YDW 228, 8 VLR 486, 8 PNJ 783, 519 AC handicap, Alrighty, and you have the state that is at this time where I'm showing you the fake sun is over that McDonald's at 832 Mountain Avenue in Ontario. The state's fake sun is not over and remaining, as I've documented, over the B&G Plaza while I'm at that property facing south and showing you the state's fake sun, albeit subdued or uncovered by clouds where it's maintaining central presence over me. That is mutually exclusive with regard to what is the presence of that. And that directed light that's inside, which is not sunlight, which is not occurring if the actual sun was even over the sky space of McDonald's. You're talking about what is a light source, the sun that would be over a structure, and horizontally sunlight is not bouncing through doors and appearing flat through what are the shapes of windows and doors. That is the state's directed light, 4VVV612. You're talking about what is not going to occur even if it was the sun over the sky space. And second of all, what is light that's not going to occur when the state is keeping its fake sun over the B&G Plaza, where I am at 11 o'clock. Not only that, Ontario Village Shopping Center, as I show you, where I'm walking from the Ontario Village Shopping Center and walking onto Bonita, walking onto then Vesta and C Street, and I arrive at the Wells Fargo, approaching Ovid Family Community Library at 10:59 a.m., which is 11 o'clock. This is the same time I'm showing you today. The state's directed light is inside of the McDonald's, which is supposed to be the form for what is sunlight, while the state is engaging in a pattern of stalking with light. That is light activity that's not going to occur, where I'm showing you the fake sun is right there above my head, while I'm showing you the demons identified as the company of McCarthy and White Oak LLC right under the fake sun that's above the Wells Fargo. Okay, and minutes from that, days prior, minutes away from that, you're talking about 11:28 a.m. where you're witnessing what is video documentation of a light source, which is supposed to be the sun, which it's not, state's light source, maintaining central presence over me while I'm on a vehicle, much like you witness when I'm inside of this vehicle I'm inside of right now. Street for street, turn for turn, remaining central over me while I'm en route through the city of Fontana and ultimately arriving at the Fontana Metrolink. And I've documented this to the same venue, all right, at different times. That's 11:28 a.m., 11:57 a.m., maintaining that same central presence, which is impossible, and that's not the conduct of the star, which is the sun, all right? Also mutually exclusive to being present over that McDonald's at 8:32 in the morning, 832 Mountain Avenue in Ontario, right? But that's what's present, and that is the state creating vacillating directed light, brightening and dimming it. That's called light activity. And it's impossible light activity, both on the placement of the state's light source and also on the fact that the actual sun, which are above buildings, is not creating that light activity inside of buildings. That's called directed light. License BFZ24J8. Actually, you could scratch that. I can't see that. That's paper plate. All right, so 6XIF721. And at Vine and Holt Boulevard at 11:18 a.m., the state's fake sun is in the windshield while she's driving from Mountain Avenue to what is G Street to Vine Avenue. License 7XEF318. And again, I'm already at what is the Ovid Family Community Library at this time, where I'm showing you at 10:59 a.m., 11 o'clock, the fake sun that's right there over the Wells Fargo, approaching from what is the west and remaining over me as I walk east, as opposed to the other day when I'm showing you to juxtapose that stalking with light, where I'm coming from B&G Plaza, where the state's fake sun remains over me right now, and I'm walking what is through the north of Plum, through the Ontario City Hall parking lot, and the state's fake sun is coming from the opposite direction to then be present over the 280 North Living Apartments. All right, and again, you're understanding what is being in the city of Fontana, where all of that, I mean, not only just staying in the city of Ontario, but all of that occurring while the state is keeping a fake sun in Ontario, but yet remaining over me while I'm en route and remaining in Fontana. That's called stalking with a fake sun. License 8WPY336, 8WMR320. And it's 11:20 a.m. 8NPE766. AC Z5M17 paper. 7UIW702. It's 11:20 still. At Holt Boulevard and Euclid Avenue. Alrighty, and this is documentation of the state keeping that fake sun over the vehicle that is parked at 630 North Front, illegally parked, subject to the surveillance by the Ontario Police. That's why they are engaging and following me up and down the street while I'm wearing all black, engaging in the free operation of my constitutional rights to walk on the sidewalk while the Ontario police, knowing exactly who I am, are stalking. That's what my podcast is revealing, knowing exactly who I am. And this is how you have what is that stalking conduct, that terrorism by law enforcement, because this is state surveillance as I'm revealing it. And let me be clear, the Ontario Police Department arriving, knowing who I am, and that's why I'm documenting that license plate crossing path repeatedly. And what is directed light? While the fake sun is over me, this is the same stalking conduct. That's how you have the police department knowing who you are. 7WME 104 493 6283. Don't hit her. I can't really see that one. State's fake sun is now over the B&G Plaza as we approach it. Okay, 6 GPM 940. State's light source is remaining over me. It's not the sun that is engaging in any substantially similar conduct relative to what a star, being the sun, would be doing, and not maintaining personal presence relative to where I am. 6SMD 914. That's what I'm documenting with regard to the state's light source, and not the sun. All right. It is 11:22 a.m. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, it is 11:26 a.m. These are images of a group stalker using his communication device, an operation of a communication device inside of the venue of Sharrow's Liquor while he is stalking in the path. That is paper plate AH23R77. He's the minion wearing a hat. He's got salt and pepper facial hair. And he's standing around asking about prices of nothing that he bought, and he's just taking pictures in this old broke down. There's nothing fancy in this liquor store. It's operation of a communication device. Even if there was some beautiful old antique, some relic. All right, let me give you an example. It's operation of a communication device. It's a method of monitoring. While the state is also, let me be clear, amplifying plane activity as I walk inside of the liquor store. All right, this is P.O.C. It's 11:27 a.m. I did capture that minion's image. That's ongoing monitoring, surveillance conduct inside of the venue of Sharrow's Liquor. It's 11:27 a.m. This is P.O.C. It is 11:43 a.m. Documenting the people of the state who know exactly who I am while they are stalking in the path with the state. That's what Ontario police are demonstrating. It's not just the law enforcement. You're talking about an entire system. 08410N2, knowing exactly who I am. And this is what I stated from the outset. That's what stalking is about, by the way. That's what surveillance is about. That's what the environment, also revealing that, is all about, and what it is revealing. What it is direct evidence of. And as I documented, you have, and I'm speaking of yesterday, which was January 15th, 2022, you have a third party engaging in what is harassing me while they are stalking on behalf of a government, and engaging in what is a show of hostility and an act of intimidation, trying to intimidate, but nonetheless you prosecute for that, and that's federal prison, while you engage in criminal summoning and you are stalking with the government, which is the pattern of conduct. It's called criminal summoning. 7MPH043, 7NNW146, 5NGH 560, 7ROZ 656, 7A84372, Heart MUECAS 6VGG804, 77335J2, E56992, 8FGF238. And that's what I mean by delusional psychopaths. ALLME16, 5WVG029, 8VMN570. And when I say that's what I mean, I'm referencing what is the criminal conduct of the people of the state who are stalking you, doing so on behalf of the government that is surveilling you in violation of federal law, and then engaging in what are acts of obstruction of justice. That's a dangerous psychopath who's threatening your life where the government's surveilling you, by the way. And then engaging in what is, while they are monitoring with communication devices, knowing exactly what you're documenting, approaching you, posing a threat, directly approaching you, and engaging in what is audible activity creation, questioning you while you are documenting their criminal conduct. 8WPJ088. And again, let me specify something else with regard to that third party that engaged in criminal summoning. You have what is, first of all, law enforcement who are already monitoring. Okay, second of all, you have what is this third party, this group of third parties who I documented in the license plate that I specified engaging in that act. I want to be clear, this is a family, a Latino family. It was an older male talking about the vehicle that I documented was his daughter. So I want to make sure I document that, 20123P1 7YHY202. There was only one P in that license plate, by the way, not two Ps. And stating that it was his daughter, and stating that it was his daughter's license plate, and that so I want to be clear with regard to identifying that as a third party, and in particular, those are the ones engaging in criminal summoning, stating that it was his daughter's license plate, 5WSK508, who are engaging in, first of all, stalking and monitoring, 8SRY739, doing so, engaging in criminal summoning. Understand that is the act of the entity that is then summoning itself to personally arrive via law enforcement who are surveilling you, who know exactly who you are, and arrive to engage in what is more the P.O.C, as I documented, molesting my person with directed light while they are stalking in the path, while I'm walking up and down the street in violation of no law, having nothing to do with the vehicle that Ontario Police Department officer is referencing. Having nothing to do with looking at a license plate either, 8MDD319, having nothing to do with the use of 7SYT773, the use of resources searching up and down for somebody who is looking at a license plate. I'm telling you, this is P.O.C. All of that doesn't make any sense with regard to what they're doing because it's the pattern of conduct, 6AJD455, 8YQM470. And every single last one of these demons who I'm identifying know exactly who I am the same way, 8GEK051. 8VZ0379. You will pay dearly for engaging in such criminal acts of obstruction of justice. The government's act of surveillance of violating American citizens. 6ZXN972, as those third parties, as law enforcement is engaging in, is something that shall not be obstructed by your acts of attempting to engage in what is kidnapping. Because that's exactly what the purpose of summoning law enforcement when you don't have any grounds to. There's no violation of any law. And second of all, you're going to be documented where the government's surveilling you, period. So 6JVM430, there's nothing that's superseding that. 8XGC594, 11069D3, 7S41858. And you are engaging in what is referred to as criminal summoning. And as you want to engage in criminal summoning, you will end up in federal prison. That's what that documentation is going toward. 8BPK426, I believe. And that's exactly what those third parties identifying themselves, identifying the owner of that third party while they are acting with law enforcement. All of whom know who I am, are surveilling me together. 8YTZ312, 57493Z2. 7MWW731. 7DXE 732. You're talking about the ordinary American citizen subject to surveillance by the government. 187ZD handicap. 8XBX 917. 8SYK098, not knowing the law, not knowing their constitutional rights. 8WBPO78, in other words, not knowing that they are not to be subject to what is an unlawful detention by an entity that's surveilling you. 18114E3. Not knowing that 8ZAY776, that there is, well, perhaps knowing, but having no way of, what are you approaching when an entity is engaging in trying to bully you, trying to intimidate, trying to strike fear, trying to establish what is an ongoing kidnapping? Because that is exactly what that could likely lead to. That's why you're summoning law enforcement while you're engaging in that criminal conduct. All right, and trying to stop, in other words, you're being documented engaging in that criminal conduct. That's a psychopath. You're going to federal prison. All right, that's how you're going to address that, and it's necessary as a matter of justice. Law enforcement's role is silencing those engaging in seeking to confront their rights. The people of the state engaging in that same pattern of conduct, that's what criminal summoning is about. That's what harassment is about while the pattern of conduct is underway. They're all acts of obstruction. You're talking about what are demons that are just furious and hostile while you document their condition and their demented conduct. 8RDG270, 6YYF. I can't see that. You scratch that. 8FMR814, 7VPL523, 6ZBE701, 120928H3, 8U28338, 8JRN529, 5PBV818. While you were talking about what are goofy demons driving by in directed light, it's Star Trek inside of that vehicle that the Ontario Police Department knows exactly that I'm affiliated with. All right, and no third party is providing any substantial description of myself when you're talking about what is looking at a license plate. You're talking about what would be the common sense request for that 7SLM993. Excuse me, I want to call the police. Can someone send down an officer because I think somebody just looked at my license plate. The question would be, okay, did they touch your car? Were they trying to break into your car? Is there a history with this person trying to break into your vehicle? What is it that's alarming you about that in the first place? That is grounds for bringing out what is law enforcement. There is no probable cause or reasonable suspicion to think that there is some criminal activity afoot or to reasonably surface from that alone. 7DFZ070, 8KUA456, 4UTK514. This is common sense. All right, but let me be clear. This is also speaking to what is the absence of the legal skill set or knowledge of the ordinary American citizen subject to surveillance by government that is ultimately just trying to shut you up while you're documenting what you're suspecting. Strangers are following you around. Strangers are harassing you. The government is engaging in what is stalking by helicopters and police, all right? However, the ordinary American citizen would describe that in a way that's probably not the most articulate, not understanding what demons are doing all around them, all right? And so you're talking about what is also engaging in what is so demented that it's supposed to result in what is the defamation of that American citizen, all the ways in which this malicious system plays out, okay? So this is what you're talking about. You are going to federal prison. It is a matter of justice. And so that's what I'm documenting. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's speaking to what is the criminal concerted activity of law enforcement and the people of the state who are surveilling you together. 30474G, I'm sorry, 36074G. That's a yellow license plate with black lettering on it. ZAN267, 7LLP200, 6AFN080, 8A200, I'm sorry, 8A20588, 7ULM455, 8S23081. I can't really see that one. Omnitrans molesting 1399982, and United States Postal Service molesting as well, driving beside Omnitrans. License 8SDC942. 6EVJ279, and that is bus number 1268 at 11:54 a.m. molesting under a fake sun. 7MBE736, and that same Omnitrans company engaging in what is molestation with what is engineered light, impossible light activity, in other words, under that which is not the sun, while they're crossing path underneath it. 8YKV373 is the same commercial actor engaging in what is kidnapping while they were engaging in that same stalking conduct in that commercial vehicle while the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department was engaged in kidnapping by an entity, 8UNE857, initiated by the same demon-possessed agency, the Ontario Police Department, while the same system of surveillance was underway. All right, and that's what Omnitrans is demonstrating, the ways in which it's going to be prosecuted for engaging in state surveillance with the government. That's all that they are revealing every time they engage in molestation. 41557Y2, knowing exactly who I am, engaging in that ongoing act of harassment and sexual molestation, AP60471. I believe. In doing so, let me be clear, while they're crossing paths, while the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department is engaging in the unlawful custody of my person, which is a kidnapping, seeking to obstruct justice, Omnitrans was engaged in the same P.O.C, stalking in the path, doing so using buses, deviating from its route, which I've also shown and documented, which they've also engaged in providing the documentation that they are routinely engaging in order to engage in stalking in the path with the government. That same commercial actor, knowing exactly who I am, the vehicle that I am aboard, while the fake sun remains over the sheriff's department vehicle and being molested with directed light, and omnitrans stalking in the path, engaging in the P.O.C. All right, engaging in what is terrorism, demonic activity. License 8RRG913, knowing exactly who I am. Okay, 5 U.S.D 545, 5YGB 965. 5YCB 965, excuse me, 5GIM 697, 35308Y2. And it's 11:56 a.m. where the state's fake sun is remaining over the B&G Plaza. That's where I'm at. That's where that molestation is taking place. Not at 11:57 at the Fontana Metrolink train station, by the way, which I documented getting off. I'm showing you the fake sun in the window as the bus is arriving at the Fontana Metrolink train station at Orangeway and Sierra on video. It's 11:57 a.m. It's 11:56 a.m. right now, and at that time when I'm in a different city and I'm on the bus of Omnitrans in the city of Fontana, those are the circumstances under which Omnitrans is molesting under a fake sun and with directed light. All right, let's go into a prosecution. Because the actual sun is not remaining stationary over the B&G Plaza in Ontario, and also documented this is supposed to be the sun remaining in alignment with me on that bus, 8TQA417, and that bus meaning the bus of Omnitrans. It's not necessarily the same bus with the same license plate and the same bus number. The vehicle, Omnitrans represents an actor, a commercial actor on behalf of the state. This is state surveillance going under the company name of Omnitrans. And while, again, 11:57 a.m. video, which you can pull up on my website, pull up on YouTube, while surveillance was underway, and 11:57 a.m. I am showing video of what is the fake sun in the window arriving at Fontana Metrolink train station, while Omnitrans is pulling up next to me right now at the B&G Plaza in Ontario, and this is supposedly the sun. This is the same time, all right? Different cities, all right? And you're talking about what is the molestation with directed light, which is under a fake sun in the city of Ontario. That's what I just documented right now. That's P.O.C. License plate 35307Y2, 8TDC 358, 04470D3, 7UUG 743. RCFCOM 8RZD 150, 7RJ Y453, 90778W1, and 8XED 692 6824 EF3. $8LJG 069. That's a Spanish-speaking minion in operation of a communication device crossing path in directed light under a fake sun monitoring. (92628T1) 8DWL764 6LPG 859 8JXN 789 8APA 388 8Y19 522. And let me be clear, the entirety of an entity is engaged in a sexual molestation in concert with Omnitrans. Omnitrans is the actor engaging in it directly. It's facilitation, it's sexual violence while they monitor with communication devices. This is inherent to the demonic system whereby they are monitoring with communication devices. 7K JW519 6J E, I can't really see that one. 8FM, I can't see that one. 7VWB 925 6TCM 749 6PBM, I can't see that one. 8VQZ1, you could scratch that one too, I can't see it. It's 12 p.m. 8XNM206, 5HKX860. Seven RQC 226. Six VWW 426, 5YEF 601. 5ETG 899. 6JGN 569. And you're also going to recall my documentation January 16, 2021. Where was I at? I'll tell you this. I was nowhere near the McDonald's on Mountain Avenue in Ontario at 832 Mountain Avenue. Look at where the state was with its fake sun on that day, 365 days ago. That's just another example, 5YLU662, of what Omnitrans is engaging in, exercising specific knowledge as to who I am, exercising and demonstrating that ongoing sexual violence, wanting to touch while stalking, engaging in the same conduct the state is doing where I'm sleeping, molestation with directed light by Omnitrans, molestation and aiming of directed light inside of the vehicle, 8PLU417, which is impossible light activity, 8CLM870. They're doing the exact same thing at 630 North Fern where I'm inside of that vehicle. 5FYP917, 7YBW431, 6150-6T2, 7MTB133 or 7M1B133, 7UER, oh, you can scratch that one, 18354F3, 8MNH769, 6GPM940, leaving B&G Plaza at 12:03 p.m. Leaving B&G Plaza is 5XMK826. License 4XXD009, 8TQC450, 7UKP722, 6VSN927. 8G79014, 7999, 5N2, 7M, I can't really see that one, 8XW291, I believe. Can't really see that one that clear. That's a Washington plate. 7KRD453, 98539S2, 09418T2, BUIT, or you could scratch that, I can't really see that one. 4XDG473, it's 12:04 p.m. Four EPM 436. Amtrak crossing path on Plum, driving west on the Hall Boulevard at 12:04 p.m. Eight PWY 351, 8 FMV 430, 0673. Can't really see that one. 7Y VV 415, 5KOS 237, 7NLR 860, 8TBP 754, 8XTF 544, 6SAS 013, 7CMW, I can't really see that one, HUSSUL, I guess that's supposed to be hustle, 7ZT, I can't, 216, I can't really see that one though, you can try that, 7MWZ2, 7MWZ 730. Eight HMP 663, 7TES 976. 8RDO, you can scratch that one. 8LBD 070, and a Ontario Fire Department and a paramedics vehicle crossing path coming from Sultana, and then driving west on Holt Boulevard, and they're at the red light crossing path right now on traffic cameras at Holt and Euclid Avenue at 12:06 p.m. Zero 7741A3. 7RUC 239. Seven ZLR 368. Eight VSS 835, 7H NA 410, 8 WWR 736, 5 JBR 310, 7B 55368. That's the ice cream truck. It's 12:07 p.m. Eight VHN 979, BV 5456. That's out of state. 8 VKU 742. 7 KY 048, 31739 V2. 7JUW 593, I believe. Entering into B&G Plaza. Eight XPY 899, 8HCN 324, BYG 7917, Washington. 09454Z1, 8LQR 838, 4S 77253, 7KPH 396, 07254B2, 4VYJ 623, 8XTV 653, 36900Z2, 6GQC 750, 6905, 6S1, 6SL, S334, 8KRK 976, 5JOD 282, 7GBJ 159, 7GJB 159, excuse me. License 7YVV 415. Four XFD 491. It's 12:10 p.m. This is P.O.C. 6PQZ 175. Let's see. 6NTT 506. 8TAH 099. 8VCW352, 5X14089, 5FAW630, 42819Y1, 7KXC546, 7ZDZ684, J435LO, 8UBW915, 8NZM150, 8Y29042. These are those that are inside of the B&G Plaza parking lot. In the event I read them already as they were crossing path, entering or exiting. 6JNR979. It's 12:11 p.m. 34321Z1, 8MTP330, 7H, 86995, 49969J3, 65834N2, 6MZM453, 4APD 451. Eight VCW 352 is exiting the B&G Plaza now at 12:12 p.m. All right, at Andy's Burgers, 8NCC 563, 4ZAN 267, 8TQR 765. These are stalkers just sitting in a drive-thru, maintaining presence. 6ZRA 519, 8EMV 430, 8WKH 509, 8PLU 417, 8DWL 764, 8RRU 940, 4VJT 319. All right, capturing video of what is the state's fake son over the Andy's Burgers, where the demon-possessed are maintaining presence in a drive-thru while the state is keeping a fake sun over my head. 8TZN 684. And that is the absence of any light source being over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, as I have already arrived at the Ovid Family Community Library, where I came from, the village. This is what I'm pointing out on video. My back is to the direction of where Ovid Family Community Library is, the Wells Fargo, Will McCarthy, and White Oak LLC. 8VKE284. We're creating light in the path. And the fake sun was right over me, as I showed you, as I stood facing the Ontario Town Square. In this video, I'm showing you Andy's Burgers. The fake sun is over that Andy's Burgers, over third parties who are stalking the path by Andy's Burgers drive-thru. And that is the state's fake sun that is in the opposite direction of the Ontario Town Square. NYB 4886, that's a Texas plate. 7VXU 762. And as I showed you at 11:50 a.m. at the same corner where I stand right now, the fake sun was over Enrique's income tax. 6CEN 915, 8PZX 221, 8GON 582, 8NPX 010, 7BAL 731. As I show you the fake sun at 12:11 p.m., 12:10 p.m., the state's fake sun is not over what is that Enrique's income tax, as I showed you, using that time as a specific example. 7DYJ 981 of stalking with the fake sun after I remained at the B&G Plaza. And it's particularly precisely over Enrique's income tax at that corner while you are looking at the people of the state who are demon-possessed, stalkers, stalking with light. That's demonic. It's stalking with light is also pursuant to what is monitoring with communication devices, speaking to specific knowledge of who I am, as that ongoing impossible light activity continuously occurs as absolute strangers are crossing path. All right, doing so on behalf of a government. They're called third parties under the pattern of conduct where you're documenting a government engaging in surveillance. In this video at 12:10 p.m., the state's fake sun is not over Enrique's income tax. It's right over B&G Plaza, the Andy's Burgers. All right, and you have what is the absence of it being. And these are all different locations, which is not the sun. But I'm giving you example after example of what is not the sun, engaging in all manner of presence and maintenance of central presence over my head while I am in motion or at any location, including inside of what in any city or county. All right, which is showing what is stalking with light as opposed to that being the actual sun. It's 12:17 p.m. 8MDD319, 8SFW205 at what is Plum and Hope Boulevard, as I'm now walking north. So anyway, that is P.O.C. That's what I captured on video. So you can see that, and you're witnessing the ways in which the people of the state engage in stalking on behalf of the government. 7EHN 354. 8VNP 761. 8CVL 684. 7KMT006, 8VCW573, 5MNZ052, 8MBU106. The state's fake sun moving over venues where you are subject to monitoring, where the people of the state are systematically monitoring you. That's why an incredible method of stalking with a fake sun is over your head. All right, that's third-party facilitating venue, Ontario Town Square Townhomes and Metro 102 Apartments, 6NXZ805, 7FVW656, 8DGU849, 5VSS480, 7FEW343, 5YXT398, 66067M2, 5G, I can't really see that one, 5G83281, African American male, loitering in relevant position with license 8XDZ739 in operation of a communication device, while the state maintains presence over my head with a fake sun as I've now advanced north into the parking lot of the Ontario City Hall and the 280 Northland Apartments. He is stalking in the path at that intersection for purposes of crossing path. 7CIM426, 5HDF434, 7GRC437, approaching third-party facilitating venue 280 North Lemon Apartments, where the fake sun is not over that venue already, as would be if that was the actual sun, even though it wouldn't be hovering over. But I'm just showing you what is the inconsistency of that which is a fake sun and not the actual sun at 12:20 p.m. Excuse me, 6SMZ947, 7PWA561. You have what is the state keeping the fake sun behind me over my head as I walk toward the Ovid Family Community Library area. 7UUN561. 8BHL385. 'Alrighty, just like I referenced the African American male stalking in the path in that white BMW as I'm walking up north and the fake sun is over me, showing you what is surveillance methods by the people of the state stalking in the path and operation of a communication device while the fake sun is over me as I'm approaching the Ovid Family Community Library. That's stalking in the path for purposes of presence all around. That's what group stalking is. And I did capture those images. That's what I'm referencing. I took pictures of that. It's at 12:22 p.m. This is a group stalker while the fake sun is right over, which I took a picture of me while I'm standing in between what is the senior center and the senior center and the 280 North Lemon Apartments. And the fake sun is right behind, right over my head, approaching the venue as I approach the venue. Okay, that's the pattern of conduct, and that's surveillance by the people, knowing exactly who you are, and that's how you are deducing that from an impossibly, it's an unnatural environment. That's not the sun, which I've shown when I'm here at an earlier time of day. The state's fake sun is already here. So how is it just now approaching? And not only that, it's moving as I move toward that location. All the ways in which you're seeing that's not the sun. That's impossible light activity. Maintaining presence all around the building, stalking in the path, all right, with operation of communication devices. This is state surveillance. Alrighty, it is 12:23 p.m. That's called audible activity. Everything that's going on in the environment is intentional with regard to the elements of monitoring, and what reasonably follows where a government is engaging in surveillance, and that's what this is. It's 12:23 p.m. All right, capturing the state's fake sun as it is precise to where I am sitting. That is at the front. And by front, I don't mean the entrance area where I walk into the library. It's at the front where that is facing the construction site where McCarthy is. That's the front where I've shown you earlier in the morning. The state is placing its fake sun over the edge of that of the library, over the front, as opposed to the 280 North Limit Apartments while I'm going through the entrance area. And the state is placing its fake sun, again, as I arrive. It's not already present. This is what I'm showing you while I'm at B&G Plaza at Andy's Burgers. And as I am walking through the senior center, not through the senior center, between the walkway between the senior center and the 280 North Limit Apartments. This is the state's fake sun arriving over me as I move, arriving at this venue. So what I show on video is a demon. This is a demon-possessed stalker monitoring with a communication device, crossing path while the state's fake sun, as I show you, is directly over me. This is not over the 280 North Limit Apartments by virtue of that placement, and also this is arriving after the schedule, which is supposed to be pursuant to the sun. Again, this is not the sun, this is stalking with light, and you're witnessing demons who are stalking with light while a fake sun remains over. Understand, it is the same conduct while this demon that you see on video is walking by. That's called crossing path with my pursuant to simultaneously with my operation, my communication device, and that's what I capture on video is the state's fake sun, and it's currently 12:30 p.m. and that minion is maintaining presence, engaging in what is surveillance while crossing path and then sitting at a bench, which is maintaining relevant positioning. All right, and this is the minion you see in all black sweats, a black hoodie and a black beanie, stalking in the path. All right, and that's what I captured on video. It's 12:30 p.m. This is P.O.C. Wants to stay amplifying plane activity where I'm sitting. Demons patrolling, and the state's fake sun present. This is P.O.C. I'm still sitting in front of Ovid Family Community Library. It's 12:39. The state is flying right over the front area facing the construction site, flying right where I am. Okay, that's the targeting conduct using aircrafts. 12:39 p.m. P.O.C. This is audible activity. You have the same minion with the black hoodie on and beanie, and you have what is a vehicle, La Torta Madre, at the B&G Plaza. I'm sorry, not the B&G Plaza, excuse me, the Ontario Town Square, using that vehicle as stalking with audible activity. That's what that vehicle is doing, and it's on the at the turn circle on what is Lemon. And using that vehicle, they are loitering in relevant position. And let me be clear, this is not an ordinary person. This is a demon that is, while at a distance away from me, using a vehicle as a means of stalking with audible activity. That's the demonic behavioral pattern, stalking with simultaneity, creating any method of noise while engineered light remains around. All right, and that same demon that I happen to capture in images and on video is crossing path using a stereo while they're walking by. Okay, it's currently 12:46 p.m. I get the license plates that are available in the parking lot of the Ovid Family Community Library: 8TFW545, 7JZK579, GRG, GKG. That is a white Tesla that's being electronically charged up in the parking lot. And it says it's for, let's see, AV charging only. Reserve parking. Oh, okay. Never mind. Anyway, so that's the GRG GKG. That's that license plate. I was looking at the signage saying if that was stating that it was for Wells Fargo employees. License 4YFS497. It is nonetheless identification of what are third parties. License 093001Z2, 6GBD556. And I want to document, you have the minion that you see loitering in relevant position, an operation of a communication device, fake sun directly over my head, directed light all around. And as I am documenting what is the fake sun, as I'm uploading onto the internet. So understand, first of all, this minion is monitoring. And I'm referencing the specific minion that you can see on video while I'm showing you what's the fake sun. He's stalking in the path. This minion is... approaches me after I begin uploading my podcast, and the audible activity, 7YTZ129, 6XTL766, 7JXU662, 8CEE012. I just want to document what are the methods of monitoring and what is a show. Let me be clear. This is I would say, how do you describe this? This is a show of hostility, and doing it in a manner where you are being inquisitive with regard to what you already know you are monitoring. 8NAJ511, and this one, crossing path, is license 98652Z2. You are monitoring, and you're being documented as such, and that ongoing evidence that surrounds is it's irreducible, all right? It's incontrovertible. This is City of Ontario, license 1564957. It's parked in the parking lot, so I'm going to document it. You have what is engaging in the P.O.C. and then approaching me, which is the pattern of conduct. Understand, by approaching, this is relevant positioning, coming close while I then upload onto the internet. It's a method of monitoring, all right? But it is also a show of hostility, regardless of the tone of voice that is used, meaning not overtly hostile because you're not raising your voice. It is still the same show of hostility, and also because of what is the identity. Not on some, for example, 4'1" minion who is going to be described and assumed to be harmless to me because of the physical stature. You're talking about what is the presence on behalf of the state. That is the identity of the people of the state. This is vicarious presence on behalf of a government that's engaged in surveillance. Doing so in what is the government's environment. This is the state's environment. You are under what is a fake sun. You are surrounding me in where what is directed light, which is absolutely impossible light activity. And you are then asking, excuse me, were you holding your camera on me while I'm documenting what is the state's light source, first of all. And second of all, you have what is sitting at a distance. Every way that you are looking at it, as you mince it apart, you're talking about what is paying very close attention to what I am doing. All right, I'm at a distance from this minion. What am I pointing out? I'm pointing out the common sense aspect with regard to what is showing that they are indeed focused on me. Okay, somebody else sitting around, they're all monitoring. So you're talking about always having their communication devices out, even while they're acting like they're working on the job at Walmart. Those minions are holding up communication devices and stalking with noise in the store. And I'm just using them as an example. Sitting at the library like they're concentrating in a textbook, holding their cell phones up to their face while they do so. All right, you're talking about what is ceaseless monitoring, period. But also you're paying attention by virtue of what they're doing, paying close attention to somebody so you're not monitoring, you're not stalking in the path, this is not a realistic argument whatsoever, but I'm going to posit this unreasonable stance. You're not monitoring, you're not stalking in the path, I am at a distance from you, and I'm holding my phone up in the sky talking about what you shouldn't even paying attention to. Okay, you got minions on doing all kinds of nonsense on social media. I don't really care what you're talking about, and you could be talking about anything. All right, what I'm talking about clearly is I'm speaking of what is a fake sun, the light source over my head. I'm using jargon that you are unfamiliar with. You're talking about the ordinary person that would be unfamiliar, but you're talking about what is knowledge as to who I am. They know exactly what I'm documenting, so they are familiar with my terminology, i.e. fake sun, but in their alternate universe. All right, so you're talking about what is knowledge. I'm a stranger to you. You're not stalking in the path, and you're paying very close attention as I'm holding my phone up in the sky and capturing what is the sun, as far as you're concerned. All right. And so you have what is engaging in what is approaching me, which is an act of intimidation. You represent the state. And this is how you're going to analyze that. And this is also revealing what are psychopaths. This is the demon possessed. I want to be clear. And that is a psychopath. It does not matter their tone of voice. It matters insofar as documenting, for example, Pippi Longstocking at Fontana Lewis Library. She wants to raise her voice and act as though she's going to hop up and do something when I am disregarding her ridiculous question while she's monitoring me. Okay. And that's exactly what she did. She starts hopping up like she's going to do something. And so I remain and document that. All right. And she commences to do absolutely nothing, running her mouth, which is audible activity creation. And doing so with regard to all the rest of the minions who were previously seconds earlier monitoring me while my panties were down. And so you have what is hostility while I'm documenting you, and I'm going to document you. You're sitting around monitoring me. All right. And you're monitoring what is understanding the government is engaging in methods of what are intimidation, and doing so while they're in a specific environment. You're going to use that same exact evidence to show the threat that they pose on behalf of a government, being prosecuted as the terrorists that they are, the violent sex offenders that they are, and the psychopath stalking that they are engaging in. All right. While they are asking these questions, while they are monitoring your documentation, knowing exactly what you're doing. That's why a fake sun is over you. While then you approach me and say, I'm sorry. Do I know you? Were you holding your phone up at me? And if I know you, then I would have said something to you. And I would have been like, hey, do you want to get in? None of that happened. So it's not even a logical question. And I was not focused on you. I'm showing you what is the fake sun. All right. I'm showing what is general presence, not just him, also the minions that were at the seating area. But like I said, nonetheless, I'm not going to mince words with regard to documenting the state's pattern of conduct, period. I mean, period. And you're sitting around monitoring. So I just want to be clear. I want to document that because this is the ongoing terrorism by psychopaths who are engaging in nothing but hostility. It doesn't matter the tone of voice. This is the government that is asking a question that it knows the answer to. It is hostile to it, that you're being documented. All right. And I'm not going to entertain that. And you're talking about what is the ongoing pattern, engaging in what is criminal summoning while you know exactly who I am. That's what I document with regard to the Ontario Police Department. And I didn't need that ignoramus to give me that audible activity. It's more evidence with regard to what I already said is going to occur. You're talking about the Ontario Police Department. You're talking about what is disbanding a law enforcement agency engaging in criminal conduct, who are demon-possessed psychopaths having no position whatsoever in law enforcement. They have no business in that position. You're talking about what is engaging in an ongoing facilitation of state surveillance with the government, on behalf of the government, in concert with the people, holding hands with the people that say engaging in criminal conduct together. That's what Ontario Police Department are doing. That's what they represent. This is the template that they are providing as to the role of law enforcement where the government is surveilling American citizens. And like I said, this is the ongoing pattern. While I'm documenting the environment, well, for example, I'm sitting at the B&G Plaza and the Ontario police are crossing path, it is the same specific knowledge. They know exactly who I am. You have what is crossing path in that specific environment. You know exactly who I am, and you know what I'm saying as you choose to visibly cross path. I happen to capture what is an ignoramus, giving what is audible activity and ongoing evidence of the fictitious authority that they exercise under the law. They don't have any. You're engaged in criminal conduct. It is also fictitious where you don't even have any legal basis in your alternate universe, where you have not yet faced the light in a courtroom, where you're going to be prosecuted for that criminal system. And that is what is an unlawful detention by a criminal who's monitoring, knowing exactly who I am, knowing that I'm in violation of no law by virtue of documentation, but also admitting by asking about a specific vehicle on a specific street where I'm nowhere near that street. All right. And there's no grounds for him actually to affiliate me with a specific vehicle that's in no way any different from any other vehicle legally parked on that street. All right. Engaging in what is following up and down, pacing up and down that street. This is specific knowledge while he is monitoring, and then engaging in molesting, and everything that he is saying is an admission of knowledge as to who I am, which is not up to any constitutional standard and not reasonably known by this officer, but for the pattern of conduct. Understand that. All right. These are psychopaths engaging in a pattern of conduct. So this is what you are constantly confronted with while an entity is monitoring and is hostile to the fact that you're documenting the fact that they're monitoring. You have a Minions license plate removed from the front and the back of the car in the parking lot. That's funny. So I just want to that's why I'm documenting that. That is an act on behalf of the people. I don't need to know that Minion's name. That is engaging in what is a pattern of conduct, what is a show of hostility. The ordinary American citizen, the target individual being subject to surveillance by the government, you don't know any explanation to any of them. The government is targeting you, threatening your life, monitoring you in violation of the law, doing so in an incomprehensible manner with the people of the state, everyone around you. And they're not also doing that with regard to what is already an unprecedented criminal act. You're talking about what are the demon possessed. All right, this is demonic activity. It's all manner of a threat to you while you are exercising your constitutional and human rights, and you don't know any explanation whatsoever. And you're talking about what is the methods of what is criminal harassment and intimidation, criminal summoning, which is essentially seeking to engage in some method of kidnapping, or at the very least, just harassment and obstructing justice, documentation, which you have every right. And it's also the legal process that is necessary in order to prosecute that entity. And the entity that is a hostile, demon-possessed one, engaging in that show of unlawful force, exercising fictitious authority, you don't have any. Not only because you're a government engaging in criminal conduct, because you're literally engaging in the criminal abuse of such legal processes and legal doctrines in order to facilitate criminal activity amongst a people. All right, it's fictitious in every regard. All right, so like I said, it's 12:57 p.m. Those are license plates inside of the Ovid Family Community Library parking lot where the state's fake sun is remaining over me as I walk through the parking lot, just covering it up. And I've already shown you that on video as well. All right, and as I am sitting at the front facing the McCarthy structure, the state's fake sun, as I showed you on video, while minions are crossing path with knowledge of what I'm doing on a communication device. All right, all of this is revealing what is the ongoing P.O.C. As I've already documented, the state is at the same time, having already been documented, remaining over me while I'm on a bus in the city of Fontana, walking to the Fontana Lewis Library, and arriving, showing you the light activity inside of that Fontana Lewis Library. But as I remain in Ontario, I'm showing you what the maintenance of the fake sun hovering over me at a specific area at the venue. All right, that's the P.O.C. while a psychopath approaches. I'm sorry, do you Do I know you? Which is nothing but audible activity. You slice it down, you focus on the elements, but you're also understanding what are the methods of terrorism. While they're monitoring you with the government, and this is what I mean by the psychopath. That's a psychopath. All right, it's currently 12:58 p.m. This is P.O.C. FedEx stalking the path at 280 North Lemon Apartments, patrolling with the minions, Ontario Town Square. Let me be clear, the farmer's market, it's a method of what is the congregation of demons who are engaged in surveillance. All right, just like the Route 66 show was, the state's fake sun is remaining over me, moving as I move, and this is presence on a massive scale for purposes of ongoing surveillance, and this is how it is ongoing in everyday life, right in front of your face, and it's criminal conduct. It's also terrorism. All right, they're not focused on making, what's he making? Tamales? Whatever it is that they're doing in a relevant position, while a fake sun is over your head. 47533D3, that's FedEx. 8MYZ750. And FedEx engaging in surveillance with the Ontario Police Department, with the people, as I documented last night at 501 Vine Avenue, stopping on the side of the street, stalking in the path while I'm walking on that sidewalk, engaging in surveilling and then pulling off in order to maintain presence with light. That's what FedEx was doing last night, engaging in terrorism and stalking and molestation. With the rest of the minions who I was documented by license plate 6TPT502. It is 12:59 p.m. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, it is currently 1:05 p.m. and documenting what is patrolling inside and loitering in relevant position inside of the private space at Ovid Family Community Library. And the light activity that's present inside of the private space is already documented, and I will remind you of that. This is none other than stalking on behalf of the entity as the demon-possessed terrorists that they are inside of a private space to engage in sexually violent and predatory stalking activity, monitoring with communication devices, engaging in stalking in the private space to maintain those elements, in other words, which is entirely sexually perverted at what is Ovid Family Community Library, also on surveillance cameras while they are patrolling in and out of that private space. And this is also with ongoing knowledge of everything that I'm documenting that's relevant to that prosecution of that sex offender. It's 1:06 p.m. It's P.O.C. and FedEx remains in relevant position, creating light activity. Remember that's upon entrance, and this is minions entering in, monitoring to that light activity, the fake sun over the venue, patrolling in what is directed light inside of the bathroom. P.O.C. All right, you also have what is the state amplifying audible activity inside of the bathroom stall while the minions that I'm showing in relevant position and directed light are inside of the private space to engage in that demented stalking activity inside of a bathroom. All right, that's the people of the state. That's their true stance. That's their true condition. It's demonic. It's a demonic environment inside of a bathroom. It's a demonic environment inside of a bathroom for purposes of what is criminal conduct in violation of Title 18. It's a demonic environment for purposes of what is criminal activity in violation of Title 18. That is also that which is done on behalf of a government, speaking to the sex offender and the ongoing federal stalking that's underway. So I want to be clear, and the state using what is presence in the path as a means of, was simultaneous to amplifying audible activity while directed light is present. That is the P.O.C. All right, that is the sex offender that are the people of the state. It's 1:09 p.m. and I am on camera exiting the venue of the private space on surveillance cameras, which are at the front entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. This is P.O.C. All right, I just want to document what surveillance cameras show. You have patrolling in the bathroom, entering in just to enter in a relevant position while I'm in the bathroom stall, entering and going out of the door, and then entering into cross path as I'm walking out of the bathroom stall. This is called group stalking in the bathroom, and the directed light is present. This is the ongoing P.O.C. This is Ovid Family Community Library. It's currently 3:57 p.m. That is, again, license plate GRGGKG, okay? This is how you are documenting an entity, and that third party's license plate on the grounds of Ovid Family Community Library. Sean Thrasher, engaging in sexually violating monitoring inside of the bathroom while this minion is acting on behalf of an entity. Like I said, that's the ongoing documentation. And you can look at my website, remind yourself about what the entity is doing inside of the bathroom, which is monitoring. That's a conduct of the sex offender. It's P.O.C. All right, Karina, she is the minion with the wavy hair. She's the same minion that I captured with her back to me, stalking inside of the library while she's standing in front of one of the book stacks, where I'm sitting at the portion where the library is facing College of Law, the University of LORRAINE College of Law. This minion is stalking in the path. She's facing her back to me while she's staring at the bookcase in front of her, while she's standing in perfect alignment with me, and while she's standing in what is directed light. This is a minion. Her name is Karina. She's got wavy hair. This minion is engaging in what is bathroom monitoring while the bathroom door is being opened and closed repeatedly. That's someone that's just going to the bathroom door, pushing it open. This is stalking in the path. She is standing on surveillance camera at the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. As I walk out, the state is sounding, amplifying plane activity. She's stalking in the path on surveillance cameras, which I also reference as I walk out of the bathroom. She is monitoring with the minions who are engaging in crossing a path inside of that bathroom as well. So I want to be clear, this is ongoing concerted activity, in that particular one engaging in what is sexually violent, also what is terrorizing. She's monitoring with the government and engaging in facilitation. The door is open, which is for purposes of not only for monitoring with communication devices, just ease of access, more open exposure, but also relevant positioning and audible activity, all right, while the state is amplifying planes as I'm walking out of the bathroom, where minions are patrolling inside, and they're all listening to me identify actors such as Sean Thrasher, who is monitoring to that sexually violent conduct, which is stalking in the bathroom on behalf of the government while directed light is touching my naked body, and while demons are patrolling in that environment. That's why directed light is there, because the P.O.C is underway. All right, and you also are engaging in what is amplification of audible activity. Directed light fills the venue, as I showed you the demons of the Ontario Police Department who are monitoring me in the bathroom while I was inside, and this is December 27, 2021. Remind yourself of that documentation. It's already published, and you're witnessing what are demons wearing the uniform of the Ontario Police Department. And she is walking around, the police officer, she's walking around in directed light, and you're looking at a demon acting as though she's about some business with the library when she is monitoring, engaging in the predatory and sexually violent pattern of conduct of interstate stalking with the people of the state, while impossible light activity is covering the grounds that she is intentionally present in while I am in the bathroom physically indisposed. That is the same environment that remains, okay? Let alone the fake sun is over the venue and directed light fills the venue on a routine basis, okay? So I want to be clear, Karina, again, this minion is standing in the entrance area for purposes of crossing path. She is engaged in heavy-duty stalking. She's a demon-possessed actor. She is a psychopath. And this is not just name-calling. Like I said, you're talking about what are demons engaging in heavy-duty surveillance with the government, chasing into bathrooms. In this particular venue where she is working for what is Sean Thrasher, a state actor, demons who are hostile, as you are revealing the fact that they are hovering sex-offending stalkers, engaging in surveillance with the state. While you have that impossible light activity in your bathroom, that's exactly what you are. That's exactly why it's there. You're doing it with the government that is placing light sources over your venue, aiming light into your venue, which is not sunlight, and that's not the sun. Doing it while I remain subject to what is surveillance, and while you're engaging in that group surveillance inside of a private space, while my panties are down and you're touching me with that abnormal light activity, you're talking about what is the prosecution for state surveillance at a venue, all right? This is the venue using the doors that are already closed of the library. It's 402. That minion waits to cross path as I engage in movement, okay? This demon is pacing, walking back inside. Alrighty, and capturing images of that demon. She walks out after the library is already closed. She is stalking in the path, and then she walks back in to run, which is a demon that is pacing. She walks out, waits to walk out. The library is already closed, understand. So everybody has to be out. She waits to exit. As I step on my foot, as I engage in new movement, this demon walks out. This is called stalking with light. This is just standing around and waiting for a moment to engage in activity creation and crossing the path. That's what she's doing. And then she runs back in. Oh, thank you. Oh, I forgot. She's pacing in relevant position. I'm capturing this demon's image as well. So I want to be clear, like I was stating, this is the ongoing P.O.C with the venue of Ovid Family Community Library, pacing inside of what is a bathroom, entering while they're also monitoring documentation of that criminal conduct. And this is all going to what is federal prison for actors such as Sean Thrasher. All right, and engaging in a prolonged pattern even before I identified via video, for example, so that you can never forget what is the directed light inside of that bathroom. That is the sexual violence of a government that's surveilling you and doing it on a massive systematic scale with the people of the state. Understand what that is. That is the implementation of what are instruments to engage in sexually predatory monitoring conduct. And by virtue of it being present in your neighborhood library, that is the ongoing environment for what is none other than the conduct of a sex offender, chasing into bathrooms, and there is nothing that you are doing other than that. This demon who I capture in images, she is license plate 7FKR163, engaging in surveillance and monitoring with Karina of the Ovid Family Community Library, and Karina is just one example. She is being given the ability to loiter inside of that venue after its closing hours for purposes of engaging in monitoring with me. All right, in relevant position while the state is sounding plane activity as I'm walking out of the bathroom. She is present inside of of the venue, engaging in bathroom monitoring with the entirety of that venue. That's why directed light is inside of that bathroom, because everyone inside of that venue, in concert with the state and the people who are surrounding outside of that venue, are engaged in P.O.C. All right, that's the significance of demons operating on behalf of the state under commercial names such as FedEx and the United States Postal Service, creating light activity in relevant position is relevant and what it is probative of. For UDW 840. Again, that demon whose images I capture, her license plate is 7FKR163. 6WDN231, 8FTF185. It is currently 4:05 p.m. and that is P.O.C. That is documentation of what is the sex offender chasing into bathrooms. Where you have directed light, that's exactly what you're doing, and that's exactly the evidence that you're surrounded by, that you're chasing someone into the bathroom to engage in that ongoing surveillance. And then that sex offender is also monitoring the documentation, engaging in what is the conduct of a psychopath and what is conclusive evidence of being that sex offender on behalf of a government. Okay, that's the government, that's the sex offender. Understand, you're going to prosecute the people though, engaging in that. That's why that directed light is there. It is 4:05 p.m. and this is P.O.C. at Ovid Family Community Library. Sounding plane activity over Ovid Family Community Library. There's no airport over the library, by the way. Like I said, that is hovering over the venue itself by plane and amplifying it. And this is what is ongoing while directed light is inside of a bathroom, while directed light covers the grounds inside of the library, while I am engaged in activity on communication device. This is that goofy atmosphere, and I use goofy to describe how ridiculous the demonic activity is with regard to what are psychopaths engaging in this level of surveillance, and just revealing all of that. And so you have what is the absence of any civilized people. They're not civilized, they are animals, and they are wearing masks that they hope would never be revealed. They are under what is abnormal light environment. They are under what is an entirely fake sun. You were talking about what is engaging in hovering and conduct that is entirely focused on another person, having no priority with regard to what they are doing and what they appear to be doing. You're talking about what is hovering surveillance, period. And you are revealing what are goofy looking demons, what are psychopaths that are threatening your very safety and your welfare, including of law enforcement. All right, that's exactly what I documented last night again, okay, because I continuously document that while that same police department is crossing path under the fake sun and in directed light on a daily basis. You're talking about what is the audible activity of that demon-possessed agency acting through that officer, admitting through that audible activity that he knows exactly who I am. All right. But again, you don't even have to have Satan say a word. You're under a fake sun and in directed light. What you are doing, who you are, and your knowledge of me is established by that period. And that's the significance of that environment following everywhere that you go. All right. And the state engaging in what is revealing the fact that you're talking about an entirely malicious system and psychopaths. This is demonic. And what it's essentially, it's legally addressed as what is obstruction of justice, which is serving to inform policy. It's not changing or slowing down any prosecution or revealing what the government in California is doing. It's talking, that's revealing while the state is engaging in still stalking with a light source and just trying to cover it up, changing the color of what is directed light that remains, maintaining an equally impossible light source over my head, whether you are trying to conceal that presence or not through trickery with the different shades of light and the appearance and disappearance, brightening and dimming of directed light. It is equally impossible light activity, period. And it is the ongoing consistent pattern of conduct, which remains underway at all times. Okay, so like I said, that was what I was documenting Karina engaging in. Sounding plane activity over the 280 North Limit Apartments, a senior citizen complex, the library. None of this is in this same sky space of what is the Ontario Airport. You're talking about what is hovering over the venue in the same way that the state hovers over the B&G Plaza, which is a grand departure from trying to establish that planes are you routinely just hovering over the B&G Plaza. No, they're routinely hovering over also the Ontario Village Shopping Center. They're routinely hovering over what is Fern Avenue, at that portion of Fern where I happen to be sleeping in a vehicle where directed light is also present, and the fake sun during the day and fake moon over the vehicle also at night. The state is routinely engaged in hovering over a senior citizen apartment complex, not only 280 North Limit Apartments, as I documented at what was Woodside Senior Apartments, which is also a grand departure from trying to establish that it's normal conduct, and it's not. It's a pattern of conduct of stalking in commercial airline planes, where you're also seeing it occurring in what is that ongoing specific environment, which is where you're seeing that ongoing concerted series of events are coexisting. All right, you're not looking at it in or any aspect of the pattern of conduct in a vacuum. It's ongoing stalking with airplanes, stalking by helicopter coexists with stalking with light, which coexists with the ongoing ubiquitous presence of psychopaths that are the people of the state who are not in any normal environment. They are not engaging in normal activity or, life, if you will. Let's just say, generally speaking, whatever it is that they're doing it deliberately in relevant position. That's what their term is called. It's group stalking. And they're doing it with knowledge of what I am doing, where I am, as I am doing it, wherever it is that I am. These are demons, in other words, acting pursuant to a very specific, it's a demonic behavioral pattern, stalking with audible activity, acting with simultaneity, mirroring whatever it is that I do. And that is demon possession. The demon possessed are engaged in heavy duty stalking with communication devices, and that's in violation of federal law. Okay. And that's why you have what is that which is in violation of what would be ordinary zoning. Okay, you're talking about hovering over the neighborhood library. Having an airport in the city of Ontario is not explanation for what is hovering over the Ovid Family Community Library with planes and helicopters, as I've documented. All right, but for an ongoing state surveillance system in operation, that would be not tolerated. I would never move, for example, my great-grandmother, if I had one, into a senior citizen complex where helicopters were routinely flying over, and not just flying over, hovering over and circling around and hovering in commercial airline planes. All right, that is a substantial disturbance. It's in violation of what are ordinary zoning laws, and you have a senior community. It is in that particular location, that particular zone, because it is not subject to that sort of activity in that sky space, hovering, contrary to what I'm documenting on video. Okay, this is just common sense, and this is what the government is doing to ordinary American citizens who are ignorant of the law, who are ignorant of aspects such as that. This is just stuff that I'm pointing out to you. This is what the state was doing at Woodside Senior Apartments, a senior citizen community. All right, even if it's not a senior citizen community, you're talking about what is any ordinary community where you are allotted the right under an ordinary contract, a lease contract, to quiet enjoyment. All right, where helicopters, which is the pattern of conduct, hovering in commercial airline planes, amplifying that activity, even the conduct of the demons that are in that venue are all of that is in violation of your lease that you're signing. All right, this is not what the ordinary circumstances are. It's not. It's abnormal in every regard, and the state engages it in plain sight, thinking that they can establish, because you have a whole bunch of minions echoing the same narrative. Oh, well, it's just normal. Oh, there's an airport in the city of Ontario. That's why they're flying over her vehicle in 2018 when I'm in the city of Pomona. No, it's not, because that's exactly what happened before I even came to Ontario. All right, flying over me while I'm on the freeway in Los Angeles, while I am on the Metrolink train, that's nowhere in the city. It has nothing to do with that, okay? Ontario is where I remained after the Ontario Police Department and the people of the state, acting via bill and wax tow, engaging in surveillance together, stole my vehicle. This occurred pre-existed before I came to Ontario. Pay attention to May 23rd, 2018. The Upland Police Department are engaging in surveillance. The fake sun is right over my head. And it is in the city of Upland, and I am documenting what is also helicopter activity at that apartment complex. That has nothing to do with the Ontario airport. And having an airport is not the grounds for what is going to be the ongoing disruption of life in general everywhere that you're at. That's what the state is doing with the sound of trains. It's preposterous what the state is doing. All right, but you're understanding what is the ways in which a government is surveilling you, and you're also identifying what's demonic activity. All right, and you're able to understand the ways in which you're going to pay attention to the environment because it's abnormal. All right, and I'm just requiring a little bit of common sense with that. It's not just abnormal because I say so. It is abnormal as a matter of fact, actually. And so that's what I'm going through, that reasoning. So the state is amplifying Union Pacific. That's what is going toward, because Amtrak does not operate a passenger line on that train station that is abutting the Ontario Museum, which is impossible audible activity, while the state is aiming directed light underneath the side of the Ovid Family Community Library. From the trajectory of the angle, from the same position I captured it this afternoon, by the way, which I already published on my website and on YouTube, aiming directed light from a trajectory which would be speaking to what is the remaining of the state's light source. It's 4:13 p.m. At this time, I'm showing you in the city of Fontana. The state is remaining in the parking lot of the Fontana Lewis Library, aiming directed light. So that's what the state, and that's understand the purpose of what is impossible audible activity of Union Pacific. in directed light while minions surround. Okay, so like I said, that is the minion identified as Karina. I want to make sure I recap that. All right, she's engaged in bathroom monitoring. She's stalking in the path as I exit, amplifying plane activity, and as I walk out of the venue, acting with third parties who are stalking in the path, engaging in demonic conduct while they are waiting for me to make a sudden move. That's the demonic behavioral pattern. And doing so, in order to engage in ongoing surveillance with the Ovid Family Community Library, documented again as the violent sex offender that it is, based on what is objective evidence. Right, and that's what is published on my website as well. The directed light inside of the bathroom, the fake sun that is over the entrance of the venue and remaining as of right now, 4:14 p.m. And again, where I'm in the city of Fontana, the entrance and the side of the Ovid Family Community Library is not in the same sky space nor in perfect alignment, such that you're going to see from the parking lot of the Fontana Lewis Library and from the entrance and on the side of the Ovid Family Community Library, what is light, the sun that's supposedly so low that it's aiming light on both the side of the Ovid Family Community Library and into the computer lab, aiming onto the upward portion of the walls inside of that computer lab, while it's also, remember, at this time, while I'm on the Omnitrans bus at this time, I'm capturing what is the state's fake sun that's remaining in the window while the bus is driving what is east on San Bernardino Avenue toward the city of Fontana, north on Sierra Avenue, and the state is keeping a fake sun in alignment with me. That is all of that is an ongoing show of what is stalking with the fake sun, impossible light, while you hear in the background audible activity in engineered light while the entity is stalking with a light source. That's the entire breakdown of this unsophisticated system. Karina is a sex offender. All right, I've captured her images before. I've captured what is understanding and witnessing her demon possession. While that demon, again, keeping her back to me, she's standing facing a bookshelf while in directed light, which is a demonic environment, speaking to demonic activity and her targeting, engaging in that demonic system with the government inside of a venue where she works, having no shelter from prosecution, which is Ovid Family Community Library. All right, it's 4:16 p.m. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, and just for your own eyes to see, take a look at the images that I just captured right now at 4:16 p.m. What you will see is I am aiming my camera. I'm standing under the side of the Ovid Family Community Library, which you can see, and I am aiming my camera toward what is the Ontario Town Square. You could see the state's fake sun right there, cozy beside the building of the 280 North Limit Apartments. And also you are looking at what is directed light that is coming through a diagonal trajectory. And let me be clear, this is the same location that the state's fake sun is in the morning. And it's the same location that it was this afternoon as I arrived here. And which none of this is the sun. Okay, period. Like I said, I'm in the city of Fontana. I'm never going to be able to capture that. And not only that, you have what is the state aiming light, what is underneath a structure, impossible light activity. The actual sun is not remaining over the same sky space in a city at a single address all day. And it's also, understand this is Pacific Standard Time. So that is 7:16 p.m. To the exclusion of any other county and city, what the state is doing with the fake sun and what's supposedly sunlight. It's to the exclusion of every other location by virtue of that conduct that I am documenting, which an entity is held to. What you're doing and the fact that you're doing it with what is something as incredible as that which is not possibly the sun, it's showing what is going on in the rest of the country. Okay, because while you are in the rest of the country and you're sitting sunshine talking about you're enjoying the sunlight, that's not the sun that's over their head, because I'm showing you what's supposedly the sun in California. That's not the sun in California either. All right, this is stalking with light. It's an entirely demonic system of surveillance in the state of California, relevant to what's going on in the rest of the country. And those are images that I just took right now. And as I walk, the state's molesting with directed light. So my shadow was appearing on the brick wall as I'm walking underneath the structure of the Ovid Family Community Library. Creating light activity by turning on the building lights of the underneath the structure of the Ovid Family Community Library. These are methods of light activity and molestation. Understand that. While, by the way, the sex offender is also listening to me prosecute it using my podcast. Okay? It's both monitoring and the psychopath that's witnessing its own demise and engaging in show of hostility while they engage in this goofy environment. They're demons. Demons are goofy creatures. They're goofy with regard to what is inferior, demented psychopaths. All right, beyond what is a weirdo. That's what I mean by goofy. I'm not being funny by that. I'm speaking to what is an utterly ridiculous title, which you can assign to such weirdos. And that is what is a goofy demon. Psychopaths. All right. It's 4:19 p.m. And this is the fake sun that minions are patrolling with children in, with communication devices, act like they're focused on playing el football. No, he's not. He's stalking with a minor child holding a soccer ball in his hand under a fake sun and indirected light. That's P.O.C. All right. It's 4:19 p.m. VFY992. This is a minion stalking in the path. That one right there. Using his vehicle as a means to stalk with audible activity while my phone is in operation. So as I press the button on my phone, he's already stalking in the path in indirect light under a fake sun. Remember the environment. Contributing to that environment while using a loud vehicle as a method of stalking with audible activity. That is that license plate. In parking, engaging in surveillance in what is the parking lot of the 280 North Limit Apartments. It's 4:21 p.m. All right on time. 8VOV1600. Stalking with activity. 8VQV600. Stalking with activity meaning as I change operation on my phones, for example, being logged on and then logging off of the internet. That's a change in operation. While the entity, I'm uploading my podcast and then putting it in chronological sequence, and then you have what is the entity just engaging. This is what the monitoring conduct is. Just engaging in an ongoing effort together. I'm surrounded by a network of communication devices, and patrolling in traffic is a means of that conduct. All right, you're talking about communication devices that are crossing path. You're not focusing on the type of car that's driving by. Okay, that's not what this is. It's a means of identity when you're looking at the license. When I'm looking at the license plate and I'm identifying the method of crossing path. This is group stalking. 4AJD039. BSM 3858, but I can't really see that one. You could scratch that one. That was a paper plate. Anyway, so I'm putting my podcast online. Metro 102 is engaged in P.O.C. And like I documented this morning, and as I've shown with directed light and the fake sun and all the ways in which they engage in using where they live as a means of criminal conduct with the government and third parties and the state. All right. So this is where I'm at right now. They are engaging in monitoring with the minions who are pacing via traffic. And as I'm uploading my podcast, that's what I'm doing online. And so I was putting it in chronological order as far as the time and as I record it. So I'm uploading it and then as I log off on the internet. And this is what is the predictability of the pattern of conduct. They are demons that are, first of all, engaged in excessive stalking. But then second of all, the pattern of conduct itself is predictable as I engage in change in a communication device. It is followed with activity, any method of activity. Okay, you're talking about what is thunder-like bolt type of light, lightning light activity, which is inexplicable light just occurring out of nowhere. It's just a creation of light. All right. While it be, which I've documented before on the Omnitrans bus. I mean, you're talking about goofy demons, goofy looking demons. And I just happen to be documenting the fact that it is actually occurring and why it's occurring. What are they accomplishing? You're talking about what are psychopaths that aren't accomplishing anything with regard to what is a demonic agenda, because you lose that agenda, whatever that end might be, when what you are doing is revealed on a massive scale. And that's what the purpose that I'm serving, in addition to what is prosecuting it. So like I said, you have what is engaging in that sort of conduct for purposes of activity creation. And while you're engaging in that, it's also terrorism. That's terrorism. And that's terrorism that falls everywhere. The stalkers that are the people of the state, stalking with light, stalking all around you. And they are demons doing that, following all around everywhere you're going with light. All right, some method of light. And if not, you have what is the state that is keeping light all over your body, following you with the light source, okay? That's what I'm documenting. That's what the people and the entity engages in. 6NGA 615. And it's entirely demonic, and it's also terrorism. It's a pattern of conduct, a consistent pattern, and it is predictable in that regard. And so anyway, that's why I'm documenting that third party. Stalking, all right, as is the P.O.C, as is entirely predictable by inferior and entirely 7874483, I believe. 8JEC 730, what are entirely broken down with regard to the demons and what they're doing. 7YMGO21. All right, 8NYH 806. License 8CTV 026. It is currently, by the way. Let me for a walk. 8 REJ 668, I believe. 4 NUU 850. 7 WSV 608. 6 BNV 929. 7 RSV 449. 3 4017 7X2. 4 LLV 355. Okay. I'm waiting for the cross light. I'm like, I know I pressed the button. All right, these are minions that are patrolling. License 6PNA 865. Eight TUT 308. 6TJL 114. All right, so 7ZKH395. When I'm showing you these images, and I want to stress that, look at the images that I captured at approximately 4:15, 4:16 p.m. You need to look at that because this is my location on the outside of the Ovid Family Community Library. Understand what I'm capturing images of upon my entrance. Understand what I've already captured with regard to my presence at that same venue earlier in the day. All right, and also what I've already documented with regard to what is then the state filling that venue with directed light as though the sun is also setting inside of that same entrance of that same venue. You're also going to remember, again, first of all, where I am right now, the state's fake sun is right over the Andy's Burgers before I arrive to the Ovid Family Community Library. Understand what I'm showing you a picture of is showing what is a migration of a light source, which is essentially across the street. And you have to when you take a big look, take a step back and understand what I'm documenting, that is also showing what is not the sun. The state's fake sun is diagonal from where I'm standing underneath the side of the Ovid Family Community Library. Where the state is, I've shown earlier in the afternoon, the state is aiming directed light through the windows underneath that structure while minions fill the library. And then I step outside and show you what's the fake sun, which is the state engaging in an ongoing demonstration of impossible light activity. It's inexplicable. This is what I mean. You're talking about just obsessed demons, not even intelligent. And there's no way that they can continue to engage in it in any way that's realistic with regard to sunlight and the actual sun. All right. 7 CKN 405. So you're talking about being surrounded by evidence. 8 SSG 971. But like I said, 7 MVG 563, 6 HVD 272. Like I said, you need to look at those pictures because what that is capturing is the maintenance of a light source, not the sun. It is nestled right next to what is the 280 North Limit Apartments as I stand underneath the side of the Ovid Family Community Library at 4:16 p.m. approximately. And you're looking at what is directed light diagonally aimed underneath the structure and possible light activity. All right. And that is also after being present upon my arrival over what's supposed to be the area facing as I'm facing the front of the library. And it was just over the Andy's Burgers. You're talking about what is 12 o'clock. And so the state is then engaging in what is like a diagonal migration, because this is the state that's acting like the sun is setting, a diagonal migration while remaining over the Ontario Town Square area. Ontario Town Square is right there in front of it's the same venue. Ontario Town Square, Ovid Family Community Library, and you were just over the Andy's Burgers. Do you understand how that is not going anywhere under any circumstances, even if that it's not the sun? That's what I'm saying, in no way whatsoever. And what sort of migration? You're talking about literally a Z. If you were the letter Z, and I mean the Andy's B&G Plaza to the Ovid 280 North Limit Apartments to what's the Ontario Town Square in order for me to capture it in a picture at 4:16 p.m. That's a Z. 6HVD 272. And I mean a short case, not an uppercase Z. It's not, the state is remaining with the light source, and that is no sort of movement whatsoever with the actual sun. It is literally remaining within what is, approximately 50 feet. And this is what I mean. The reason why I'm at a loss for words is because it is literally inexplicable, and all I'm doing is documenting it. That's all I'm doing is documenting it. And I've already documented this before. I am at an advantage now where I can remind you what the state was doing with its fake sun 365 days ago, 364 days ago, 360 days ago, because it's the same time of year. All right. It's the same fake sun, the same ongoing consistent evidence of what is not the sun in California that's remaining over me and all the places. And look at what I'm doing last year, what I was doing, where I was at, and look at where I'm at this year. What's the state doing with that which is supposed to be the sun? It would be identical. All right. It would be very, very similar. Oh, no. That's not what you have when you have keeping a fake sun in the city of Ontario versus going through the city of Fontana. But what was that light source when I remained at Mercy House all day long? What was that? from 8 o'clock in the morning until after 4. And then as I walked back toward Holt Boulevard, the state was keeping its fake sun in alignment as I walked up Bonneview, as I walked up Holt Boulevard. That's what the state was doing. What was that? While it's remaining over me in the city of Fontana, over the Fontana Lewis Library, and Fontana is just one example. How is it ever going to be visible over me? You're talking about through the window while I'm on the freeway going to Palmdale? Really? On the Metrolink train? Really? Is that right? I don't think so. I don't think so. All right? These inferior fat-faced demons listening to me prosecute them, they're entertained. 8BXL 780. Stay tuned. That prosecution is going to be even better. It's going to be riveting. 8839-641. That's hooked on towing crossing path again like they were this morning under the fake sun. So like I said, that is the substance also of what I document, or what I published, on my website, thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. And for today, January 16, 2022, and I am making sure, first of all, look at the images that I capture at 4:16 p.m. I am in the city of Ontario, standing on the side of what is the Ovid Family Community Library after leaving from what is the B&G Plaza after 12 p.m. All right. And not only is that the ongoing show of what is Stalking with the Fake Sun, take a good look at a map, which you don't have to go very far, because the state's fake sun over the B&G Plaza to what is being over the Ovid Family 280 North Living Apartments to remaining over what is the Ontario Town Square. That's what I'm capturing while I'm standing at 4:16 p.m. And that's literally like a Z. And that's, that's not even going down the street. Okay. And where is 630 North Fern? You're talking about what is across the street of Euclid Avenue. You're going down a couple streets. That's not the sun. It's impossible. And that's just common sense. I'm just breaking down what is common sense for you. Look at these addresses that I've pointed out as what are identifying where the state is placing a fake sun directly over me. 630 North Fern to what is the B&G Plaza at 410 East Holt Boulevard to what is the Ovid Family Community Library, 215 East C Street. Look at that, where the state is going with the fake sun. And from the hours until I remain, you're talking about what is remaining until after 11 o'clock. Then we go to McDonald's on Mountain Avenue at 832 North Mountain Avenue. And then to B&G Plaza. And then to the Ovid Family Community Library, where it's there, where it's supposedly setting. That's not the sun. Alrighty? That's to the exclusion of every other location. You're talking about what is answering a question that apparently nobody has ever posed before, but I get it, because when I was consumed with working and studying and doing whatever it was that I was doing, traveling to get to work or traveling to get to school, whatever it was that I was doing, I was in a vehicle all day long, which you need in California, and nobody's outside paying attention to what is a hovering light source, and also this goofy light activity that's not sunlight. All right. And like I said, so that is posing an answer to the question. That's to the exclusion of any other place. You're acting like that's the sun. Well, if that's the sun that's setting while I'm on the side of the Ovid Family Community Library, which it's not, but if it is, since you want to stalk with a fake sun, that is the absence of any light source in Nevada. That's the absence of any light source in Nevada. All right, that is not the sun setting in the state of Nevada or in the state of Arizona. It is under what is Pacific Standard Time, remaining, by the way, over 1 block all day. That's what that's documentation of. Going outside of the block, going to Mountain Avenue in the morning, and then following, in direct contrast with what I've already documented, where the state's keeping its fake sun over me while I'm already in Fontana during the 11 o'clock hour, by the way, while I'm at McDonald's this morning. That's what my documentation shows. All right. All right, but let's just keep it to Ontario. You're talking about what is remaining in the city of Ontario in the morning, and it's supposedly setting. No, that is not the actual sun. So let me bring this to bear for you, okay? And let's reason together, because that is to the exclusion of any other state. That's if that was the actual sun, which it is not. It's not. It's currently 4:40 p.m. This is P.O.C. Let me get some minions over here stalking in front of what is Charo's Liquor, 7LWB 484. That minion's on surveillance cameras wearing a hoodie and a face mask. Looks like African-American female. 7ZXS825. License plate 6C25724 8XHT417 BF07Z or BF07C33, I believe. 8KZN221 6EDY146 8BXA176 8M37113 7VES986. License 7RPT067 79668D1 7JVZ614 8YTW907 7FJG065 8ZAY776 Stalking with light, driving on the street with their hazards on. License 7 TTY 548. That's a heavyset Latino male wearing a red striped shirt. It's 4:42 p.m. Okay, Coach U.S.A. crossing path, driving east on Holt Boulevard right now. 66772 was the number on the front of that coach. Driving east on Holt right now. 7DWE 773. At Shiro's Liquor. And you have what is loitering on transit, another coach as well, which I will document momentarily. 8WDK514 9138R. I'm sorry, 91383R2. 8TPA224. 7BNA003. 7EIF 718. 8N93642. Oh yeah, I think I read that one. 7TIX 501. 8WGL 973. 8U.S.C 598. 85437X1. 8SHL 972. 8BGZ 906. It's 4:44 p.m. 8P12439 and 8BQD845 and 8ZBK105. It's 4:45 p.m. All right, the coach on what is transit. This is a license plate, and the driver of this coach, at least he's accessing it with keys, is on the venue, the cameras of Shiro's Liquor, where I was completing a purchase. He's there inside of that venue on camera. All right, this is license FR3303. This is an Iowa license plate on a Van Hool. This is a large white coach. They've got that audible activity is created as they load what are skis onto the coach. This is Windstar Lines Incorporated, US.608224. The sound of sirens is as I'm walking, using the coach as a means of noise as I cross the street. 4JVR018. All right, license 7VAZ118, 7MCS178. You understand how the entity is engaging in stalking with noise, okay? This is P.O.C. at Center Ice Arena, by the way. This minion, license plate. And let's get La Torta, because they were stalking with activity at Ontario Town Square today. GK2A72, that's a Nevada plate. And that's the sound of sirens that sounds like it's coming from the museum. It's not, that's called amplification. 43988U2, stalking with audible activity today at the Ontario Town Square. La Torta Madre, looks like the phone number for this, this is a demon driving a commercial vehicle, monitoring while the state sounds sirens, stalking with audible activity under the fake sun today, as I referenced at the Ontario Town Square. I was sitting in the front. This is the vehicle that was using this vehicle as this is the third party that was using this vehicle as a means to stalk with audible activity. And how do you do so? Using a large truck, you put it in reverse and you get beep, beep. He was using, or he or she was using this vehicle as a means of stalking with audible activity. All right, license 8EGG930. And monitoring with 7YVV047. License plate. Oh, I read their license plate already. But this is La Torta at Center Ice. I was looking for a U.S. dot number, but I don't see one. All right, 7YVV047 is just hopping out to use her phone to take pictures of what is the building of Center Ice Arena, which is nothing fancy. She's doing so while the state is sounding sirens, while I am in the parking lot. It's operation of a communication device. You can take a picture of, it could be something extraordinarily beautiful. That's not the point. The point is it's operation of a communication device, engaging in surveillance, doing so while looking like you're doing something else. Oh, I'm taking a picture. Whatever it is the state wants to look like they're focused on. They're in directed light, engaging in stalking with audible activity while they're crossing path. It's P.O.C. 80400R1. 9AA5C74, that's Arizona. 8YYS898, YMD020. That is an out-of-state license plate. It says Alberta. And directed light is present. I want to be clear. Stalking on the back port of Center Ice is license plate 7TSP594. 7DQY907, CFT9084, 8TY2217, 7EFF 876, 8LFB 422. So understand what I was pointing out. You have what is the state sounding. You want to come on, Satan? They already drove out the parking lot. Okay, this white-faced demon-possessed stalker is patrolling around in the parking lot of Center ICE. And again, that's 7TSP594, comes out of her parking spot just to drive around in a circle. That's called patrolling. Like I said, understand what you were listening to while states on sirens. It's keeping me surrounded. You hear what is like a that's the coach whose Iowa license plate I read. As I cross the street, that demon that made a purchase in Shiloh's Liquor hops into the driver's seat of that coach, knows that I'm documenting, okay? Not acknowledging me, don't have to, don't need to know their name, they're demons. They're engaging in an ongoing maintenance of systematic activity creation. This is what happened as I cross the street. You hear the coach, but like some exhaust sound. As I start crossing the street, the siren sounding as I continue walking across the street. Headlights of the minions in the BMW with the Nevada plates that I read, keeping their lights aimed toward me. All of them acting as though they are concerned with something other. Okay, 7HRD 430 NYB 4886. That's Texas. Like I said, the only reason why I'm mentioning that to you, what the demon possessed are outwardly engaging in, is because this is a matter of public corruption. It is existing in plain sight. It is occurring amongst what are not any third party or state actors that have any form for. Oh yeah, I'm just buying a candy bar at the liquor store. No, that does not exist. I want to let you know it does not exist, meaning it's not a legal argument. It's absolutely irrelevant what you are doing in relevant position. It is legally irrelevant. You're purchasing that candy bar. It's called relevant positioning. All right. It's called criminal facilitation, while the pattern of conduct of a government placing one under surveillance is established. And there is no legal excuse from that. Further, you are going to recall, why do I keep telling you what these psychopaths are doing? And that's a psychopath acting like they're focused on something else when that demon is focused on you, okay? Listening to everything that I'm saying, okay? Listening to every move that I make, everything. That's a psychopath, okay? That is not persuasive. It's one like myself letting you know, oh, this is what this demon is acting like they're focused on. Don't forget the fake sun is over me. Directed light is present, all right? The state is amplifying plane activity. Oh, yeah, there's a helicopter again. Oh, there's Ontario Police Department again, knowing exactly who I am. That's P.O.C. All right, V106108, that's Illinois. So like I said, that's why I reference that. When the entity is engaging in the pattern of conduct, there is no form at all whatsoever. PRE 654, that's... It says Wild Rose County. I don't know what state that is. It says Alberta. DWC 9924 80400R1. That's why I referenced that. CGD 9854 Arizona. CELLLY Arizona. 8EQL 277. 7YKT 907. 8GHN 344. And it's 4:52 p.m. That is Ontario Police Group Stalking, driving what is east on Transit at 4:51 p.m. Stalking with the rest of these minions whose license plate I'm reciting. Alrighty. And again, that Nevada license plate, it's got little letters like small g, small k, and then regular size characters 2A72, and it says Nevada. So I guess that would be read GK2A72. It's Nevada nonetheless. Monitoring with Ontario Police who cross paths visibly. 6MCS 178. 8JUD 252. And I read those already. Alrighty, that is P.O.C. 62481V2. 5LUD 734. 7KXN 408. 7PUZ086, 6HNT 488, 8HTM 537, P91078, 6WBK074, 7HTG 950, 16749L2, 8HTM 573. I'm walking through B&G Plaza. That's what I'm reading. 8TMC 354, 8JHN 372, 6MYA 657, 05798Y2, molesting, 8KFC 269, 7NRV 113. 42819Y1, All right, and this minion is molesting as well while he is monitoring to that sexual touching with directed light. 8ZKB123. And that is a minion that goes inside of what I believe is Metro Plaza. I'm sorry, Metro by T-Mobile, which is no form. Metro is monitoring. That demon goes inside of what is a nearby facilitating venue to engage in ongoing monitoring. 8TTG211. 7ZDZ684. And these minions engaging in surveillance, stalking in the path, maintaining presence, monitoring, brown-faced demons monitoring and stalking with law enforcement. License 4POBO56. All right, this demon sitting in the parking lot like a psychopath, focusing light on a surface. That's a demon. 7MWZ730. A hairy face one. It's 4:54 p.m. Four 7458T1. It's 4:59 p.m. License 61214D2. I think I read this third party's license plate already. Yes, I did. 910. I'm sorry, P91078. Yeah, they were at Andy's Burgers. Here comes some third parties. License plate 8PE. Oh, I can't really see that one. 6YTD 964. 5NSX 478. 7MBW 383. EPO 96. I can't see the rest of them. It's 5:02 p.m. This is Omnitrans 1399981. It's 5:02 p.m. Capturing images right now at 5:02 p.m. Omnitrans is engaged in surveillance and is stalking in the path while light is being aimed onto Ontario Town Square. And what you see is the shadow of the tree that is facing that Ontario Town Square apartment building, which is right in front of the bus bench, okay? That's impossible light activity, reaching a particular section of the apartment building. It's in perfect alignment with me. And also, I turned around to show you what is illumination in the sky, as though that is the sun, and it is not. And it is in alignment with what looks to be like the parking lot area of the 150 East Holt parking garage, the museum as well. That's the location where I'm aiming my camera. That is the state. First of all, that's not visible from where I stood at the Ovid Family Community Library at 416. I am at the B&G Plaza. This is the maintenance of a light source in alignment with me, and that is also entirely disconnected light activity on the building of the Ontario Town Square townhomes that is not reaching into that very little, precise little hallway area, street section area of the Ontario Town Square. Also not creating what is the shadow of the tree, which is light that is coming horizontally to cast that shadow of that tree onto that wall. That is not light activity that's going to occur. That's also not the sun that is visible as I'm showing what is that light source in alignment with relative to the position of the Ontario Museum, the Ontario Public Health County Clinic, Ontario Public Clinics, 150 East Holt parking garage area, where I've shown you the state placed this fake sun over me in the morning as I would come from the museum, depending on which direction I would walk. This is directed light. That's the state's light source. It's not the actual sun. The sun is not setting, and that is entirely disconnected from what I showed you at 4:16 p.m. That's even going beyond a Z. You're just talking about what is just a swirling around in a circle with regard to the placement of the state's light source. That location is the state's alignment with me with a light source in the environment, and aiming, just placing directed light on buildings in alignment with me. Okay, the third parties whose license plate I read, engaging in surveillance in the parking lot, stalking behind, are 4 P.O.B. 056. All right, they are sitting in the parking lot behind me, where the state is aiming directed light on the Ontario Town Square townhome apartment building, that precise one in front of me. Omnitrans is stalking in the path while that light activity is present, and they're a sex offender molesting 1399981. Like I said, what they are doing is not a question. I'm pointing out what is the light activity around in the environment. That's the identification of, first of all, state surveillance is also the identification of a venue. Ontario Town Square townhomes, every single last one of them are living in relevant position, what is ripe for a prosecution. Okay, they don't have any First Amendment rights with regard to maintenance on behalf of the state that's engaging in such surveillance. And it's present where I am subject to monitoring on a massive scale, including wherever it is that the minions live. And that is a venue where minions reside, Ontario Town Square townhomes, where it's light activity that is totally inexplicable, of just aiming it in alignment with me, which is the pattern, on that particular part of the apartment building, which again, coming from what is the side of the Ovid Family Community Library at 4:16 p.m., how is that coexisting with remaining over the parking lot and through the computer lab of the Fontana Lewis Library? It's not. While I'm on the bus of the Omnitrans going up Sierra Avenue, north on Sierra Avenue, east on San Bernardino Avenue, this is stalking with light. I took images of that. You need to look at that. All right, that's P.O.C. And where the state is placing what is illuminating sky light, as though it's in the location which is above the airspace of the Ontario Museum. This is what it looked like. Understand the state is engaging in trickery with light and perception of depth, as though it's not setting, it's not the sun, it's not going anywhere. It's also logically following the state's fake sun in alignment on the same street where I was this morning, and then deviating from being in alignment with the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. All right, that is speaking to what is stalking with light. Look at those pictures. It's probative to what these minions are doing that I continue to document. 7TK, I can't really see that when you express that. This is license 7RKV769. 8JHN372 is now crossing path on Hope Boulevard. The state is just engaging in ongoing following with light. That's demonic. That's a government engaging in demonic activity, stalking with light, following around with light. 8WKZ041, and not normal light, engineered light. 8K28920, and doing so on a massive scale, where it's supposed to be the sun that you are assuming. I'm sorry, you're not even assuming, you're not even questioning it, you're not even aware of what is hovering over you in the sky. That's what's going on. You're not even aware of it, and I'm bringing it to your attention. So like I said, those are ongoing, just very highly probative, and speaking to what is highly probative of what is not the sun, of what is stalking with light conduct, and it's entirely demented. It's 5:07 p.m. All right, the Van Hool coach with the Iowa license plate now crossing path, and what is that directed light on Hope Boulevard? License 7WNT670, I believe, 7CKG. I can't say that one. You can scratch that one. License plate 2446181 or B1. That's a truck. 6FLJ 078, I believe. 3262500 8DCG 674 K306. I can't really see that one. 8WKE659. 7XRS029, 8XVX309, 4MKX326, 8BST582. All right, and the method of maintaining light is just changing the color of the directed light. Now it's an orange tinted light over the entirety of the B&G Plaza, as opposed to aiming it on the Ontario Town Square townhome building. All right, which is supposedly reaching now over the entirety of the B&G Plaza, as opposed to just setting over the museum, where the state's documented conduct of keeping the fake sun over the museum as I would wake in the morning. ATMC 354. (22196E3) 7JGS 071. Let's see that one. (7R) I can't see that one. 8PMG 556. 8N can't see that one. Let's scratch that. 7RPDO 24, or I can't really see that. You can scratch that one. 7WKS 843. 7CHE 387. 6MOG 854. 8GDP 703. 4EVRMOI 8DBN 567. 7BSJ 565. 7B, hold on, 7B SJ 565, yeah. P.O.C 536. Seven DFM 117. 208 02R2. 8 VAX 143. It's 5:12 p.m. That's the state stalking by helicopter, flying over and while being molested with orange tinted directed light. That's flying over the venue that is the Ontario Town Square Townhomes. All right, that is a venue for purposes of a massive prosecution of third parties engaging in P.O.C, where the state was also aiming entirely just impossible, disconnected light from where the state is illuminating some fake sun, which is not the sun, and it's not even going to result in that light activity. Ridiculous. 76767X1, that's where the state is flying over. The ongoing identification of a venue, all right? License. 8AVA 786, 8WDN 387. 8AVL 057. 8YO 452, I believe, out of state. 8V22. I can't really see that one. Let me scratch that. 8KZ. Can't see that one. 5YBF 697. 7ZJR 415, I believe. 7AIY 306. 7XW, I can't really see that one. It's 5:14 p.m. And the state was flying east over the Ontario Town Square Townhomes, hovering over that apartment building. License 8HSK 960. 8EZV 459. 7G TE 501. 8SFS 325. Eight BXL. I can't really see that one. 8WJJ071. 6WXH846. 8URN062, I believe. And 8PB. I can't really see that one. And this is license plate 8X. Remember, I can't really see the rest of that one. That image that you should take a look at of the state placing a fake sun. That's to the exclusion of any light source, contrary to what I captured in the city of Fontana. All right, that is that ongoing exclusion 8ALB645. The state is engaging in conduct as though the sun is setting on one street. 7KWM462, I believe. GU652, handicap. Let's see. 7GJE448. But I can't really see that one like that. 6SWJ695. All the entity is doing 24 hours a day is engaging in trickery with light. 2123 something M2. Can't see the rest of that license plate. 8PEK139. I'm sorry. 6PEK139. 9422B3 or 831. I can't see the rest of that one. You can scratch that one. 7MYF074. This minion, license plate 8K28920. It's 5:17 p.m. Um, 8C 503. All right, I can't really see that one. You can scratch that one. It is 5:18 p.m. License plate 7WSS294, 7KJK945, 43874Z1, 7ZWE841, I believe, 7HMD0, can't see that one, 8YDG651. It's 5:19 p.m. And the same minions who I documented engaging in surveillance, these are two Latino males with license plate 4POB056, maintaining presence in the parking lot of the B&G Plaza behind me. License 8TGT813. 6XZF. I can't really see that one. You can express that one. CLY5266, and that's Arizona. It's 5:19 p.m. License 4 P.O.B. 056, leaving from a loitering in relevant position in directed light, while the state is moving a fake sun from Ontario Town Square in alignment with me to what is essentially the museum in alignment with me at the B&G Plaza. And while the state sounds plane activity, amplifying it over the B&G Plaza crossing path. All right, it is 5:22 p.m. Oh, there's helicopter. There you go. That is surveillance by those third parties whose license plate I recited. And the state flying by in helicopter again, third parties patrolling in relevant position. And I'm capturing images of the state crossing path in helicopter. So what you see on the front page of the homepage of my website, thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com, on the homepage of my YouTube channel, which is The Pattern of Conduct, you are looking at what is documentation of terrorism in that very method, stalking by helicopter. That is an integral component of terrorism by the state of California, that is stalking and surveilling, 8XON 625. And that is what the state is engaging in on an ongoing basis, 7 CPK 648, license 8RCU 000, 8KDR 656, 7SDN 415, 8UVK 891. These are minions monitoring with the state, 5WRG 414, 8N, I can't really see that one, scratch that one. That's a demon stalking with noise, 8RVZ 430, 5LUD 734, 8TWU 669. And these are minions. These are the people of the state engaging in terrorism, acting as one entity, stalking by helicopter, stalking in the path, in directed light, molesting together while they're monitoring, terrorizing together while they're group stalking. Doing so by plane, helicopter, and by crossing path all around on behalf of the state vicariously. That's what group stalking is, and this is demonic activity. And that is the ongoing indication of what is a pattern of conduct, while that staple of this demonic system, stalking by helicopter, is ceaselessly underway. 8V WP019, and those third parties are representing the sample of what the entity is doing on a ceaseless basis. The same entity engaging in that stalking, in that same exact pattern of conduct, where it is that I sleep, where the state aims directed light inside of the vehicle, is stalking by helicopter, is stalking by law enforcement, is stalking by the people. The same exact pattern of conduct, stalking with helicopter in that specific environment. All right, and that's what I captured in images. It's 5:25 p.m. Alrighty, license plates. 7AUK 650, coming out of B&G Plaza at 5:25 p.m. License 6UCR013, 8W, I can't really see that one, 88, I could scratch that one, 8HNS 155, 822 6996, 6XNK 569. License 4YTT084. And it's 5:26 p.m. Shiro's Liquor, understand that's a venue that is armed with surveillance cameras, and surveillance is underway at that venue. Minions are pulling in and out of that parking lot to go to that open venue for purposes of crossing path and loitering in relevant position, engaging in surveillance with the state. All right, it's an operation of a business, in other words, identified as Shiro's Liquor, where surveillance is underway, period. That's the P.O.C. that they are engaging in relevant positioning by going to that venue. 8XOT 680, I believe. Or I can't really see that one. You could scratch that one. That is the pattern of conduct by the people of the state. That's why you're looking at what is a fake sun over the Andes burgers, while the people of the state are stalking by making a purchase in a drive-thru. Okay, that's why I'm able to capture what is not the sun over that. That's a means of engaging in group stalking on behalf of a government, and supposedly doing it inconspicuously. It's not inconspicuous. It's in plain sight. And what is that specific environment while you are subject to surveillance? It's 5:27 p.m. All right, license plate 8UA S789. It is 5:29 p.m. HKL 525. Five MW 2776. 5SGS. I can't really see that one though. You can scratch that one. It's 5:30 p.m. This is license plate 8CRX 940. That is audible activity and directed light. The state stalking via aircraft over the B&G Plaza, not over the front of the Ovid Family Community Library. Right here where I'm at, where the entity stalking with light and with the people, with Ontario Police as well. Those minions have already admitted, other than unwittingly, and doing so also while they've been documented as the criminals that they are. So that's P.O.C. license 7MJX 898. 1516961 OPD, license 6YWH 594, DT 254 handicap 8GJU 755, license 8VSL 952, 6LBK 152, I believe. Can't really see that one though. The end of the license plate, can't see it. 7ROB 888, excuse me. 8AKL 913. FLS 969. 8LDJM26, but I don't think that's the entirety of that license, but you can scratch that one. It's 5:32 p.m. And that includes the minions of the Ontario Police Department who are listening to me document. They listen to me sleep. They listen to me breathe. They listen to me pull my panties up and down. They engage in ongoing obsessive stalking and stalking to the location where they also know where I am sleeping, which is exactly what that agency engaged in while they were engaging in unlawful conduct, as I documented on my podcast, speaking to knowledge of who I am, and that's exactly the ongoing knowledge that is present in that specific environment. And while they are now group stalking, as I'm documenting them, engaging the P.O.C, which does not change. I'm just speaking to the ongoing consistent documentation. All right, it's 5:33 p.m. Let's see, 8TT, oh, I can't see that one. 8XOK 071, 5SFX 940, 6TTN 593. 8TYX 035. Let's see, it's 5:34 p.m. Alright, I want to get these minions that are using Sharro's liquor as a venue. License plate. This is a black-faced demon with dreads coming out the back of his hat, wearing glasses and shorts and a t-shirt. He's on the venue cameras of Sharro's liquor. BS51715. That's a paper plate on a white Jeep, molesting while they turn into the parking lot area for S.I.I.S liquor. They are stalking in the path, and that African American is a blackface demon. A female with gray sweats on and a white tank top enters also. She has a ponytail in her hair at 5:34 p.m. entering into S.I.I.S liquor, and doing so on surveillance cameras, which I'm also referencing. P.O.C. Let me be clear, this is contrary to what demons in California would have you think, that there's some Black Lives Matter. The blackface demons in the state of California are monitoring with law enforcement, and all of whom are engaging in surveillance together. 61182Y2, 7JBH182. And that is contrary when you're engaging in that surveillance with law enforcement, contrary to any narrative of Black Lives Matter. They are targeting together, contrary to what the narrative suggests, that black people altogether are being targeted by law enforcement. It's not that at all, and it has nothing to do with race. It's demonic activity. 7XQP117, and that is why those minions are in directed light molesting with the state that's stalking by helicopter and stalking by law enforcement of the Ontario Police Department. 5DFA267, 8MRA233, I believe. Can only see that one? Right, license. I can't really see that one. That's a paper plate. It is 5:36 p.m. And again, those minions are inside of S.I.I.S liquor as I document those African-American demon-possessed stalkers engaging in surveillance with law enforcement in relevant position while the state flies over me on the sidewalk with helicopter. Okay? 8AFL892. And contrary to some camaraderie based on race, you're talking about what is targeting based on demon possession, demonic activity by those who are black and white, whatever your race is, they're demon possessed. All right, and this is state surveillance, a satanic targeting system. All right, and that's why those African Americans are engaging in molesting my person, which is the actual opposite of anything that is suggesting some camaraderie amongst the oppressed black people in California. No, it's not. It's a demonic targeting system. And the demons who I know, Eric Corey Spencer, all right, who you heard monitoring on my podcast last night, is another blackface demon, documented also engaging in conduct in violation of Title 18 with law enforcement, having nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. Nothing whatsoever. Just want to continue to point that out to you as I'm documenting criminal activity amongst the demon-possessed, and it is irrespective of their race, age, gender, socioeconomic status. 8NDK612. All of those demons together are under what is impossible light activity 7DVF006, engaging in what is sexually violent targeting conduct with abnormal light, engaging in surveillance together, chasing into bathrooms, engaging in weird stalking conduct with by weird I mean with simultaneity to what you do, creating any manner of noise. That's a demon that engages in that. That's very, very weird while a whole bunch of people do that around you. And also it is achieving what is monitoring, stalking with activity in engineered light, while they maintain group presence around you. All right, that's the P.O.C. And those African Americans in that white Jeep of S.I.I.S liquor with the paper plates on them, monitoring with law enforcement, with the state flying over by helicopter, molesting with directed light, are now exiting at 5:38 p.m., going west on Hall Boulevard. Alrighty, license plate. Let's see. see, 8RQP. I can't really see that one. You could scratch the rest. 7CKU 450, I believe. I can't really see that one though. You can scratch that one. Let's see, 7LRY 363. No, I can't really see that one though. Omnitrans is loitering in relevant position at limited halt. I'm laughing at demons. License plate 7MQE 216. I'm sorry, 214. Let's see. 8YTV 956 15794J1. And Omnitrans at limited halt at 5:40 p.m. loitering at that bus stop, creating light activity. That's stalking in the path. Let's see. 5GGY. I can't see the rest of that one. 6PXV 625, I believe. Can't really see that one though. Omnitrans is leaving from limited halt right now at 5:41 p.m. License, let's see, 8RFA 316 or 376. Alrighty, and you had demons on foot patrol. You got heavy traffic on foot and on bikes, stalking in the path, especially as I document license plates. So they're standing in the middle of the street with their phones, crossing path, patrolling on the sidewalk, walking around in relevant position, stalking in the path. That's the ongoing method of stalking in the path. That's what they're doing. I just want to document that as well. This is Omnitrans engaging in commercial stalking. I can't really see that one. This is Omnitrans license 1545805, molesting. Bus number, let's see, 2362 at 5:42 p.m. License plate 7TOK 865. The minion gets off of that bus on surveillance cameras. They get off in relevant position on surveillance cameras monitoring. That's literally a psychopath, a demon at a distance using a vehicle to stalk with noise. It's entirely pathetic. And at infinity. That's an Infinity driving out of the BNG Plaza at 5:43 p.m. It is entirely pathetic. But so are demons at large altogether. It's pathetic. You're being documented and shown as the pathetic entity that it is, stalking people in bathrooms. It doesn't get any more ridiculously criminal and predatory and weird than that. And that's exactly what the demon possessed are doing. 7GGS 938, patrolling in and out of his vehicle, keeping the lights on that vehicle. Hooked on towing, loitering in relevant position in the parking lot. AVSORC. I'm sorry, that's AYSORC. And this license plate, crossing path and directed light 51865T2. It's 5:44 p.m. And by parking lot, I mean at Shiro's Liquor. Again, that's 7CGS 938. All right, the license plate of Hooked on Towing. This minion's license plate is 51608H2. Hooked on Towing, California 560138. Hooked on Towing, engaging in routine molestation and stalking in the path, and doing so inside of the BNG Plaza right now. That's Tracy Banks molesting and creating audible activity, which she's monitoring with the entity as well. This is P.O.C. at 5:45 p.m. I'm getting in. 8VRD 733.
Yeah, that's over with. I just had to show her my test where I tested negative.
And molesting is 8 NEP 979. It's 5:46 p.m. See, it is 6 p.m. 6XOU130, molesting, 5NPE 755, including 4WON432. That's Tracy Banks. All right, while demons are lining the path in the parking lot of the Montclair Place Mall. This is molesting 8SJP881, 8VDM876, 7DZE579, 8RLY326, 8RIC426, 8XRM248, 8RHC316, 474BM, that's handicap. 8C83919. And it is 6 o'clock on the dot again. You have what is the Montclair Place. This is the venue where the pattern of conduct is underway. And like I've already documented, directed light fills this venue. And this is state surveillance at the Montclair Plaza. The Montclair Place is what it's called. It is 6:01 p.m. All right, 6:47 p.m. on surveillance cameras in the hallway, which I'm referencing, the private space where the people are engaging in monitoring and surveillance in and around the bathroom. And they are doing so in directed light. I will remind you about the light activity inside of that private space where demons are patrolling in. And the still images that I captured today is just the documentation of what is literally stalking in the bathroom. And you can see as the demon, I'm capturing an image of one that's maintaining presence in the bathroom. Another enters with simultaneity to my operation of the phone, and you can see the shadow in front of her and behind her. This is the ongoing directed light that's inside of that bathroom where demons, the people of the state, third parties, are systematically engaging in what is the pattern of conduct inside of that private space. This is Montclair Place. I will remind you about the light activity inside of that bathroom. This is P.O.C. It's 6:48 p.m. 8YTY197, waiting in the front of the entrance to molest and surrounding on the opposite side with the minion in operation of her communication device. These are minions monitoring together. And this is upon exiting Montclair Place. This is surveillance by the people. 8TWH002. And it is currently, by the way, 7:05 p.m. I want to document Ally Universal. They are working the grounds at this venue. They're engaged in surveillance. All right, they are engaged in bathroom monitoring while I'm subject to that surveillance inside of the bathroom. 8CWL301, IMBALM, 6HBN739, 7DLW519, 8YJN370. This minion stalking in the path with light. 8ALU865. 8PVM297, 8VGT738, 8JQF471. This last one right here, 8SKM741, P34OWL, 8MOD535, 7LLM139.
What it's worth. Final answer, 156.4.
5RXG657.
Wow. Here's Bruno Mars.
8PLU584, I believe. 7WPCO84, 7SMH846. 4JKR515, 6GVU099, 8YZK319, 8LDJ773, 8FKA127, 7GGA365, 8WDL551, 8TTJ075, 5YMZ081, 6LVL085, 8UAU707. All right, license plate 7MXS542, 8HHV541, 8WOC315, 8FMB 756. Let's see, 8SDK 7. I'll get this one in a second. 8SDK 303. 8ESE 716. I think I already read 8HMX 764. 6VYN 686. 6AWP 404. 32996Y1.
Chill with the soul of Southern California.
All right, 7:28 p.m. The state engaging in flashing directed light inside of the vehicle as Tracy Banks opens the door to get out, which is impossible light activity, occurring with simultaneity to my beginning to record this. What I took still images of, and that's speaking to what is her condition. That's a demon, all right? This is a demon-possessed stalker. This is actually a woman that gave birth to me. She is demon-possessed, though. That's her condition. She's engaging in targeting her own flesh and blood, and doing so with her other child, which is, well, he's not a child. He's a big black African-American male monitoring with law enforcement, having nothing to do with Black Lives Matter, and engaging in that conduct with her. She's a black demon-possessed stalker as well with law enforcement, the Ontario Police Department. And so what I took still images of, that's context. So what I want to take images of right now what I took images of at 7:25 p.m., is, first of all, she's in operation for a communication device and directed light remains inside of the vehicle, like I was describing, while Amazon was stalking in traffic, while she was driving down the street. This is the ongoing pattern of conduct at nightfall. The absolutely illogical placement of directed light, which, again, when you pay attention to your environment, you're seeing how, first of all, it's there, what I'm showing you, and also it doesn't even make sense. It's not even logical. All right. It's not logical because that street, like, for example, driving on the street, light is actually not reaching into a car and moving across your thighs. The roof, the car, unless you're driving around in a convertible, you're talking about the roof of the car, this vehicle has a roof that's a structure, okay, that is covering. And when the vehicle is driving underneath what are stationary lights planted on the side of a street or on the side of a freeway, for example, you are the one that's in motion approaching that source of light, and it is not cycling toward the front of the car. It would actually be the opposite direction if that light was even reaching through the structure of the roof of the car and touching all over your thighs and down to the feet underneath the where your feet are located, which is what the state is doing with light. So while I'm describing all that, this is the ongoing P.O.C. While I'm inside of the vehicle. And what I took images of is the third party Tracy Banks. While that directed light is inside of the vehicle, she's in operation of a communication device. She's systematically monitoring while sitting in a car. And this is a psychopath acting as though she's consumed with some phone call of some minion that she's talking to, both of whom are engaging in monitoring by virtue of doing so while the environment is present. And she does so with her demon-possessed son. His name is Eric Corey Spencer. And I also want to document that demon-possessed psychopath monitoring what is his flesh and blood. This is the abnormality, the demented state of those who are engaging in the satanic system. I want to be clear, it's abnormal for even animals, like I said, and this is why you don't have any form, being engaged in the P.O.C. and engaging in what is demonic. This is showing what is the threat posed by a psychopath such as Tracy Banks, including her demon-possessed son, Eric Corey Spencer, who are engaging in this targeting system together while you are in conflict with what even animals do, giving birth. Even animals don't turn on their own. So understand, I'm just giving you that parallel source of thought. Okay, you're talking about what is absolutely demonic. Okay, it's twisted. You're talking about targeting your own alleged family member, and this particular psychopath has been so heavily documented. I mean, there's nothing that she can say. Anything that she says is nothing but audible activity. And I'd let the tape run when this demon goes off. So you've heard, first of all, Satan has revealed itself through her literal speech, her own mouth, and her conduct. Okay, everything is speaking to what she's engaged in, which is the P.O.C. She's nothing but a puppet of Satan, her and her son, and have been engaged in the pattern of conduct as I've revealed it. I was subject to that sexual violence. I was subject to that surveillance inside of my own home. And when I was living with her, wherever she was that she was living after I moved away from Orange County after graduating law school and studying for the bar. So anyway, I want to go through all that because I'm speaking to what she's doing and what I capture images of at 7:25 p.m. 7:25 p.m. I'm capturing images of what is her operation of a communication device. And she is in operation of that communication device in directed light, while she is monitoring and facilitating monitoring with the government and the people of the state, while engaging in a simultaneous sexual offense. All right, I'm being molested, and she is monitoring to that ongoing molestation, which is a necessity with regard to the pattern of conduct. She's doing so in concert with her demon-possessed son, and understand how also, while this is criminal conduct, this is also the passive-aggressive demonstration of hostility by the demon-possessed. Them not saying a word while the state amplifies plain activity, while she's on the phone with her demon-possessed son, Eric Corey Spencer, while they are engaging in, some casual conversation, and the state's creating audible activity on being molested with directed light. And as she is walking inside of what is Woodside Senior Apartments, approaching the vehicle, the state amplifying that plain activity over 408 West G Street. That's Woodside Senior Apartments. That's the pattern of conduct. In addition to that, this is when she gets in the vehicle, and instead of just driving to the opposite side of the street where she parks, where I sleep in the car, she makes a lap around the block. Now, let me be clear, by making a lap around the block, she decides to drive from the apartment complex onto Vine Avenue, then onto H Street, then onto Euclid Avenue, then onto G Street, and then to turn to park on Fern, where I'm now in the vehicle. And she does so, I want to be clear, this is for the criminal purpose of monitoring me, and doing so with her demon. And this is when I capture an image of what is the operation of her phone, her black face, demon-possessed son, monitoring with law enforcement, which is exactly what they're both doing. This is not Black Lives Matter. That is not what is going on in California. That is the false narrative, and it is actually very sad as they're using that sort of narrative to distract from what is a satanic targeting system in the state of California, where Black people who are demon-possessed are targeting with law enforcement, period. All right, having nothing to do with that. And they're engaged in an ongoing documented pattern of doing so. So she takes a lap around the block, and I even asked her, where are you going? Because she couldn't make a quick turn to the left and turn on Fern Street. Oh, nothing. So she drives around the whole block while she stays on the phone, FaceTiming Eric Corey Spencer. They're monitoring together and exposing me to that ongoing threat with the intent to do so. Again, in the vehicle, directed light all over me. The state is flying over the street while she is driving as well, and then decides to park. And then, as you hear, as I begin recording, she opens the door. And as I press the screen to start recording podcasts on my podcast, the state is creating thunder-like flashing light inside of the vehicle. And then you hear the car door close. That's that minion, Tracy Banks, and she is a minion. She's a puppet. All right. She's a caricature for Satan itself. All right. You are talking about what is an entirely inferior creature. That is Tracy Banks. You're not dealing with a normal person. You're not dealing with a mother. You're dealing with a demon-possessed psychopath who is a violent sex offender, period, and engaging and exposing me, her flesh and blood. All right. But this is not what you're dealing with in the natural, a loving mother. You're dealing with a demon possessed actor who's engaging in this conduct on behalf and in concert with Satan, who is operating over a government, operating over a people. And it is concentrated on the use of communication devices. And that is where 18 U.S.C. section 2261A subsections 1 and 2 comes in, because what the government is doing, which is demonic, is in violation of federal law. All right. And Tracy Banks is instrumental in that, doing so, facilitating that with her demon-possessed son, Eric Corey Spencer. Both of them are demons, hostile to my documentation, hostile to my exposing and publishing the reality of their condition, which is not a secret. The fact that they are demon-possessed, period. And they're criminals, third parties on behalf of the state, engaging in terrorism with that entity. And that's why she took an extra lap around the block, driving all the way around instead of just driving straight to Fern Avenue to park on the street and get the hell out the car. She's monitoring, and doing so with Eric Corey Spencer, again engaged in the P.O.C. Okay, doesn't have to be in relevant position, is creating audible activity and in use of a communication device to aid in that criminal system, which is sexually violent with Tracy Banks. All right. It's 7:36 p.m. And what you also heard chiming in the background, this minion who was monitoring intentionally leaves her cell phone. And so let me break down what this minion is actually doing. She is a psychopath, and she is a stalker, just like every other minion that I document, whose name I don't know. And you don't have to know. It's the government that's surveilling you through the demons who surround you with communication devices, and stalking with light and all the demonic methods that they do. And so she is literally sitting around waiting for the moment to come back to the car. Oh, Shucks, I forgot my phone, which is a communication device which is left in the vehicle, which she did not forget. It's an ongoing means of what is abandoning a communication device. I've documented this heavily engaged in at Starbucks. All right. I would reference how they would leave their communication devices, abandoning them. And that is, again, the P.O.C. So she is not ignorant of the fact she forgot it. And I put that in air quotes. She did not forget it. It is a means of not only audible activity creation, as you hear, it is also a means for that demon that is Tracy Banks to sit around in the darkness and wait for a moment to pop up at the car like the psychopath that she is. I want to be clear, her and her son, Eric Corey Spencer, demons. All right. Those and the operation of demon possession on a human being is that of a psychopath. This is a person that is living the life of a con man, all right? Their entire existence is that which is based on what is on the surface, relying upon the fact that you cannot see their diseased state, which is that of demon possession, all right? Satan literally in operation over them, literally a puppet. If you can imagine, which you can't because Satan is a spirit, but you're literally talking about the affect, the influence, the control of what is that evil spirit, that wicked influence operating over this woman going by the name of Tracy Banks and Tracy Jenkins on Facebook. It's 7:38 p.m. and that's P.O.C.